This is the Political Spotlight.
The Political Spotlight is a joke. It's more like a political flop.
Nobody listens to Bilbrey.
He's just a wannabe podcaster. No one takes him seriously.
He is a rude, crude dude that will never go any further than broadcasting from his mother's basement.
Bilbrey is a wrecking ball for Indiana politicians.
Grab another box of Twinkies and generic cola, Bilbrey.
And get back to your microphone and your audience of nobodies.
The Political Spotlight is a joke.
It's more like a rude, crude dude that will never go
Bilbrey is a wrecking ball for Indiana politicians. Shut that stupid Bilbrey up.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome from the Mud Creek Studios, where things are working wonderfully. Hard wiring works. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot tell you. I was just talking to Kate before we started the show. We did a test, and I've done a couple tests throughout the day. I did a test just going to Facebook privately to make sure it worked, and we did that earlier. And as any of you know who have dealt with internet and this type of network issues, I can do all the tests that I want. And I can do all of that earlier in the day, but it really doesn't matter until showtime, because things are going on differently at different hours. Like, if we do a test at 2 p.m., the people around us, they might be at work and not home accessing the internet or pulling things off their phone. So really, the test doesn't matter until we start at 9 p.m. and go out. But I will tell you, I fully believe 1,000%. I fully believe that this man that came over here, he was a godsend. It was a miracle. He was great at what he did. And I've got to be honest, we started to give him a shout out last night. And right as we started to give him the shout out, that's when the plane crashed into the mountain and the shit hit the fan. So, I felt really bad. And then I was trying to do it, but it was so clustered. It was really, really crazy. So I wanted to wait until we got this thing figured out before I gave him the shout out. And I think that we're there. So this is not an endorsement. This place is not an endorsing sponsor. They don't sponsor us. Our political views do not engage with their business in any way. I just want to say, as a buyer, as someone who needed a service and not knowing anything about it, I picked up the phone to these people and I called them, and in pretty quick order, they contacted me and they fixed it. He was willing to do whatever we needed. He wanted to troubleshoot, and it was amazing. So the gentleman that I worked with's name is Jason. And I'll be honest, I don't know. I think he might be the owner. I think he might be like the man, the big man in charge. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. Let's go in here and click About Us. Yeah, this is him. We may be tech experts, but we don't let that go to our heads. We're down to earth, friendly, curious, and persistent. Working with us is a lot like working with friends who happen to know a lot about technology. I don't know. Here's our team. Jason, yep, look here. Founder and owner of Hoosier Technology. Jason is a Muncie native, attended Ball State. He's His love for tech stuff goes back to childhood when he played early video games and tinkered with electronics. Today, he collects the games and toys he loved as a kid. Jason is a huge movie buff as well. He has an extensive collection of 80s movies, which is on display at the office. Oh, God, I got to go in there now. I think that's awesome. So, yeah, that's cool. All of these people here are connected, and I think that this is cool. So these people are awesome. If you need help in the IT consulting, computer support, tech world, give these folks a call. They are based out of Muncie, Indiana, and I'm sure they will be able to help you. When I called them, I was like, look, I don't even really know what I need. Maybe the city needs to talk. And no kidding. Maybe I can make an introduction there. I called them and I said, I don't even know what I need. So I'm going to talk. And if at any point you don't do what I'm talking about, just tell me to shut up and we'll stop talking. And she laughed and I started talking and I was like, I don't even really know what I'm saying. Do you do this stuff? And she said, yes, we do it. We can solve it. We can solve your problem and we can take care of you. Now it took 2 attempts, but hey, I don't have any problem with that. That's probably true, Stumblefoot. But I will tell you, for those of you that know a little bit about this kind of stuff, so the internet provider is Xfinity, Comcast, and the data plan that we're getting here for the internet plan, I guess, is supposed to be coming in at 1,100, 1,000 or 1,100. And in doing the research I was doing for this, I was listening to people say, "Oh, you need 300 up, 300 down. That's 300 upload, 300 download." And the gentleman that I spoke to today, the guy that came out here the last couple of days, is Jason. He said, essentially, as long as you're like at 40 on either side of that, you should be good. But with what you're paying for from Xfinity, you should be getting a lot more. So we did the test and we found out what the problem was instantly. The problem was down here at the studio, well under the Earth's surface. That's part of the problem. The internet test was 5. I was pulling 5. Not 5,000, not 500, but like 5 when I should be getting 1,000. So that's the issue. Now, I've done the test several times today, and we've been well up past the 800 point, and I'm going to go back to my statement that I started to make last night and the night before. As they've said, essentially, we won't have a problem again unless and or until we lose all power. And then that would be the problem. But outside of that, we're back at levels like we were at Lighthouse Studio. So we are good to go. And I'm very happy about that. And I like to be able to give you guys the very best of the product that we give. And if we can't, I'm going to tell you, it's been making me I've been literally depressed for the last couple of days or weeks because I've been thinking, I told Kate, I was like, I started to pick up the phone and call Gaddis back today. I was going to be like, well, I'm coming back to sell cars. The show's over. We had a good run, but it's over now. I can't internet. I just can't internet. No matter where I go, I can't internet. So thank God that's over and we didn't have to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, somebody asked what tonight's topic is. Last night, this is a part twoer. We had a part 1 and a part 2. I don't like doing that frequently, but when you got to do it, you got to do it. So tonight's description of the show is, this is episode 711, part 2, the conclusion of the Political Spotlight's 2-part look at the highly anticipated August 3rd, 2026 Muncie City Council meeting. In this episode, I will be coming to the conclusion of our detailed analysis of everything that happened, including the highs and the lows, the winners and the losers, and the status of major issues in the city of Muncie, Indiana, and what comes next. What comes next for all of these things and for us. Specifically, we will be covering in the second half of the meeting, we will be covering the council's discussion, public input, and final vote on Ordinance 1426, which is Ordinance 1426 aims to prevent current and future mayors from appointing their staff and other city employees to various government boards and commissions. So we're going to talk about that, and that's a very important discussion, and we're going to go through it all. Then we move on to the council's discussion, public input, and final vote on Resolution 1026 and Resolution 1126. And those are both connected, and they both connect with Ordinance 926, which is the ordinance connected to the proposed construction of the new fire station number 5. Then we go to the public comments portion of the meeting. And while that's normally not a big deal, last night's, the Monday's meeting, the public comments were a big deal. So that may not seem like much, but those 3 points convey a lot of information, and we've got to get through it. Okay, so this is part 2 of part 1. If you're interested in seeing the first episode, episode 710, that aired last night, and it's up on YouTube, and you can go see that. And I've attempted to cut the majority of the bad out of, like, the skipped part. I didn't cut any content out, but areas where it was bad, I pieced that together and edited that as best as I could. So
you didn't cut out where you died, did you?
No. We're going to talk about that here in just 1 second. We're going to talk about that here in just one moment. So, before we get there, if you would, please, because it's been a lot of work to get here, please smash that like button. Give your thumbs up to Hoosier Technologies. They deserve every bit of it getting us here. So give us that thumb, like the show, subscribe, do all of that stuff. We would be ever so grateful for you doing that if you would be so kind to do that. So the one last thing that I want to talk about before we get into the show is over the years, putting on a night show, I think it's pretty well known that I have a very strange sleeping habit. Many of our viewers know and know that they can contact me and get a hold of me pretty much 24 hours a day. You can call me and get a hold of me at 2 a.m. as easily as you can get a hold of somebody at 3 p.m. That's just how I've always been. I've always had a weird sleeping schedule. It's not like I sleep during the day and I'm awake at night. It's like I'm awake all the time and I catch little cat naps here and there, sometimes even while we're on the phone talking. One of the things I have never done has been falling asleep while on live video. And the reason for that is 90% of the time I'm talking. And it would be weird if I was in the middle of talking and fell asleep. That generally, something would be wrong if that was happening. I would either be like on the nod, or be a narcoleptic, or something serious would be happening. However, I will tell you, last night, first of all, well, maybe I've got that half blood and what, like Blade Runner, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But no, so I will say, last night I'm a day walker. I was mad. I was anxious because of the studio stuff, and that's been wearing me down. I'll be really honest. On top of that, the last couple of days had been crazy with what's been going on in Muncie, and I was exhausted. By the time we got to the show last night, I was beat. And then to have to sit down and listen, to Ridenhour drone on in that voice that he has for like the fourth time, I just fell asleep. And I've got to say, first off, it was very embarrassing. It was very embarrassing. And it was so embarrassing that yes, Kate. I've made myself watch it so many times now that it's actually funny. But then it hit me. It says more about Kate and all of you guys than it does me, because not a damn one of you said anything. Kate did a little bit, kind of. Then she laughed about it. Then, we're getting wonky. Are we? Give me a second. Let me do the test. Is it really bad? Hold on here. Speed test. I'm going to do a speed test right here. Give me a second. A little robotic. See, now I'm obsessed with this. Oh, no, it's still really high. We should be. Oh, I see. I don't know why that's doing that. Okay. Let me do some things here to help us out a little bit. Tester again here. All right, here we go. I think we're doing good now. I think we're doing better. Okay. All right, are we better? Are we good? I wasn't in the duck with you, so I didn't know you started snoring. No, yeah, right. Well, okay, so here's what happened. I'm normally not a snorer, so that's one of the things. But it says more about you guys. And Kate says something about it, and then she laughs about it. Then she just completely stops talking about it and goes back to talking about the show. So really quickly, before we get into anything here, I want to take a look at this and just show you guys a couple of really strange little points here. And then we're going to get into it. So we're getting ready to get into the meat, but I just wanted to walk through this with you because last night it was a little hard to see. Tonight it's going to be a little bit easier because it's on the home link. So, I can't be up there. Give me a second. I'll put myself over there. Okay. Let's take a look at what's going on. Yeah, right. That's I'm just going to have him move in with me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here's this.
Shut that stupid Bilbrey up.
Correct. So that's $13 million for the project, but we're only saying it's up to $11.5 million. So we still have that $1.5 million. We were told at the public service meeting that would go into other fire stations.
Now I don't know what you guys thought I was looking at here, but you can see the heads nodding, the heads bobbling
from this council. When this council chooses how they want to spend that 1.5. It has to be toward the fire station, though. That's what Ball State is spending it on.
Right,
but we do not need to access the full. If you have, for example, let's say you have a MasterCard. You've got a
what did Kate think was happening right now?
Right.
If you use $1,000.
What she told me was she was watching the screen.
I was actually watching the
That's
video.
how I would handle
Watching
it.
the
And
screen,
comments.
not me.
I was watching the
That's how I would
meeting.
handle it. I would
and
end
the
up
comments
doing
on the
less.
side.
If it's a build, operate,
Yeah.
transfer, and you don't do it at 11.5,
Put those up.
This is so weird.
We
How
could be
did they end up
we could be at
accessing
risk.
extra
So here Kate is
$400,000?
talking.
But here to me, what I thought you were doing over here, I thought you were taking notes.
So
You thought I was taking notes.
I thought
Okay.
you were taking notes.
he said that the
Because your
1.5
leans like you do sometimes when you're writing. So I
Yeah,
thought you were
yeah.
taking notes about what he was saying.
Yeah.
If you want it for fire, if you
So
want it
that
to go
part
to fire
was
stations, if
fine.
you want it to, however.
Yeah.
I am
All right.
I would
Now,
prefer not to even access it. That would be my choice.
watch
if I
this.
were on
Just
council.
stay up here for
I
a
would
minute.
Say let's not access that one.
All right.
I would not do $13 million.
This is
I wouldn't
nuts.
go for that. I would hold the total price to 11.
I wanna know-
$1.5 million.
Look what.
See, now at this point, I'm not paying any attention to you.
Okay,
anymore.
but there had to be people out there that was like, "What in the hell is going on?"
No, because nobody actually likes you. You just
That's
come-
exactly right.
Look
Look here. Now look here. That is great.
That I should have looked up and seen because I would have known what was
Dude, it
going on.
looks-
at that.
Looks like I've had a stroke. I'm kind of drooling on one side. Holy shit.
For additional station projects because you do still.
And we watched this last night. It was just as funny last night.
Oh, yeah. Good Lord.
Clearly secured the 11.5 million in advance.
We were all watching the meeting and being angry about the stupid shit they were saying.
Those funds can be
Look.
used. You have to appropriate that. Those funds can be used
Look.
directly into that.
The twitch of the
So that
head.
we don't need
Oh
to
my
access the
God.
entire 11.5. So
You poor
you could
man.
approve the maximum for
I feel
11.
Look,
so
now
bad.
listen.
And I came back up. I was getting
She's not shocking. Look at her
We have
face.
to come forth and ask you for permission. So if you
think it
appropriate
should
money
be that.
right after the
No,
contract
I'm
is signed,
livid about
that
what I'm
1.5 million comes off
listening
before
to.
we even start drawing money.
Yeah.
Okay. And so with the contract that's being signed with Mr. Martz, if you agree, the whole project will not exceed.
Now look at
11.5.
her. I
So when we hit that
Now I'm like,
11.5 stop, if we put the
I heard
1.5 up
you
early into
died.
the game here, that's where it's going to stop.
now
The remaining
What?
$1.5 million cannot be used for anything other than.
listen. Now
unless
wait.
you approve.
What Kate just said there is literally, she said, while smiling, she said, "Did Kristopher just die?" And then look, I'm gonna take you back and watch this. Watch.
Exceed 11.5. 0.5 million comes off before we even start drawing money. Okay. And so with the contract that's being signed with Mr. Martz, if you agree.
Hold on. I'm gonna see if we've got oh no. Okay, we don't have closed caption.
The whole project will not. exceed
Watch, listen to
11.5.
her.
So when we hit that 11.5 stop, if we put the 1.5 up early into the game here,
Did Kristopher just die?
where it's going to stop.
Then she's
The
just
remaining
smiling.
$1.5 million cannot be used for anything other than Station 5 unless you.
Well, I was
approve.
hoping by saying that I'd
hope
get a
that's still-
reaction out of you, but you
What
didn't
did you
budge.
think I was doing now?
I thought you were just being like, oh, I hate these people. And you're just like,
The pen I was writing with got so small. All right,
you know,
it's
that's
not.
when like your head is down because you're just like so.
You just thought I was just so exasperated. I was just like, ah. All right,
Yeah.
watch.
Clarifies that.
You know.
Yeah, we didn't use any of the other.
And then
money,
you
though.
didn't respond.
And nor
Yeah, I didn't respond.
could we without your permission.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Any other questions?
And now I'm
So
like
that-
paying
that
attention to
100
you.
Is only for the fire. For the
Yeah,
fire.
she's trying to figure out like, all right, what do I say something? Do I keep watching the show? Do I call paramedics? What's happening?
It will be used for fire department infrastructure projects, and it cannot be used for any
Not
infrastructure.
capital?
Pardon me?
No, capital or infrastructure? you're saying?
Well, it's you guys are approving for infrastructure projects,
I think
so
I figured
it still
out.
cannot be used anywhere besides Station 6,
The
and we didn't
money
need it.
hasn't
So
technically
it sits
been
there. We couldn't use it unless we came in.
And now she's back talking about the show.
Mhm. Yep.
That money might have technically been borrowed.
Ask you to appropriate that money
Like
first.
this
All right.
floating open loan,
Do you have
this
plans to do that?
open line of credit.
If-
that they can
I'm not gonna come and
access
ask
up
for
to
just a
this
piece of
amount.
money
At this point, I have
if I
no
can't
idea what
prove
you're
it.
doing.
I'm
So I'm
not-
just like, carry on, Kate.
You think that
And
you're
then you're
like,
still not responding. And I'm like, okay, something has to be wrong with this man.
no, Michelle, I've done that. It's not that. Listen to me. I was exhausted by this point. It wasn't. I had been up. I needed to have slept hours before the show. This is absolute exhaustion. 1,000% exhaustion.
Thank you, Liam.
What?
Oh, Liam is going outside to water the garden.
Oh, well, damn. What? Okay. Well, okay.
We have some things we would like to do.
You don't want to do it in the hot sun because.
Yeah, I get that is true.
But we'll come before you and make that request that appropriation.
Now that's the line I like. She said, "I think stupid has killed Kristopher," and that is probably accurate. The stupid, that could have happened.
The plans is what we're
Now, then the other thing is she gets off the screen, which makes it bigger. The worst thing that you could do. Here, let me ask you, can you kick me off the screen? Do you have the ability?
What were you saying?
Did you?
I did.
Do it again.
I can yank you off. Watch.
How?
Goodbye.
That was amazing. Well, so here's what happens. Watch this. So
I left. It didn't occur to me to pull you down. At that point, I'm like, I gotta find out if he's dead.
Yeah, right. It wasn't a matter of what was going on with it. She's like trying to figure out. So now she's like calling me. Okay, watch this.
If we don't have
right there. Last night segment, late night with Bilbrey. So you hear my phone when you call me. When someone calls me, and this is what's great about this. When you call me, my ringtone does this.
I love all of you people.
Listen to this. Hold on, what is that? Listen to this. This is my ringtone. Is there anybody there? Okay, so that's the ringtone. So now listen to this. I slipped through Audie.
When you're concerned that someone is dead, the ringtone is there anybody there?
That would have been the only thing that would have been funnier.
I almost peed my pants when that did that because I thought, oh God, this is on air. And then
that would
it occurred to me that I probably should have taken you down, but by then it's too late. We're committed now, baby.
That would have been hilarious, dude. That would have got so many views. That would have been so many views. The phone's just going, is there anybody there? And I'm just dead. But okay, so wait now. So all right, I'm gonna go back and let you hear it because you heard the ringtone here loud. But okay, now so listen to what happens and then watch what I do.
If we don't have the money for it, the plans is what we're going to do with that before obviously anything could be done. Okay. Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Understand that 100%. If we don't have the money for it.
Instantly, I heard it. And instant, like my head's up and I'm looking at the phone and I'm telling you
but at the same time, you look kind of scared.
I was. I was. The amount of adrenaline that shot through my body right then almost probably could have killed me.
No, I didn't have to go to the bathroom. I just went and got tissues because my eyes were leaking because I'm laughing so hard.
So I hear that ringtone and I instantly came into my brain because I can hear Audie and I know where I'm because listen, I'll be honest. I have worked until like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and I have fallen asleep here before. I've done that. Well, I'm used to waking up here in the night. Now that happened. Look, you see, Darla? That happened. And if you're really somebody, you saw that, but that quickly went away and that was never to be seen again. That, matter of fact, is the only audio, video, or anything that I've ever produced that I deleted.
You want the phone?
Ever. Ever.
Okay. Off you go.
Chris Bunner saw it. Yeah, oh yeah. A couple of you real people saw it. So I see this and I'm thinking, oh shit. I literally just fell asleep on camera. I fell asleep on camera. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? So this is what happens.
And it puts the city deeper and deeper in
debt.
Look
at the scale. It's like I look at my face. I was telling Kate last night, it's like, are you talking about running? I was more, yeah, that's right. I was more embarrassed here than the underwear deal. The underwear deal I didn't care about. Look at my face. It's like when you fall asleep in school and it's like when yeah, not close. But it's Niles is a nut. But this is like when you fall asleep at school and the teacher calls on you and then tells you to like read from the page that she just left off on. And it's like, what's happening here? So I always wear black. What are we talking about? Every shirt I own is black. Every shirt's the same shirt.
Everything's going to be funny tonight from now on.
Oh yeah, no, I love it. So all right. So then watch what happens here.
Then that's going to be a big problem. Also on Station 6, some of the EMS money.
So I turn it off. So now I'm calling her back, and I reach up right there. I'm muting the camera.
Taken out of the EMS fund.
I slept in it.
Applied towards that building. Is that something that's going to happen this time?
So I muted it.
Appropriate some money from the EMS fund to fund this building too.
Maybe you were dead.
And I'd like to know more about it. So that's where I'm at.
She told me she thought I was dead.
Thank you.
I have this conversation with Kate on the phone.
Todd Smeckens.
Todd Smeckens gets up.
I can't argue with anything that's been said. I agree we need to update the fire station. My problem is the financial arrangements.
And now
first of all,
I'm
the bond lawyers do not.
God, what? Because I've not looked at the comments. I'm figuring everybody's like, "What's happening? What's happening? What's going on?"
Kristopher, is he okay?
Yeah, I figured like, "Oh shit!" I'm mortified.
Not a freaking
not
word.
One word from anybody.
Nobody cares about you. We're all
nobody gives a damn. Not one person. I was my parents are watching. They don't care, but they had went to sleep at that point because she did text me like right before this. She had texted me and said, "We're going to bed." Thank God, or they would have been calling. She would have called me. Now, Grandma would have called if this would have happened. Grandma would. I'm surprised. So they were in bed, but because she would have caught that shit.
Have your grandparents seen this yet?
They're watching it right now.
No, I realize they're watching it right now, but you didn't show it to them.
No.
Oh, good. It's a surprise for them.
No, it's a surprise. It's amazing.
How loved your grandson is.
All right. So now
dead on the side of the road, and people just drive by and honk because
nobody cares.
Honk, honk. There you go.
So I'm sitting here in my mind at this time thinking, like, what am I going to do?
Represent the people in this room. They represent the investors. So we got to make that clear. So when they talk at a public meeting, they're not answering. They're not protecting us. They're protecting the bond investors. So we got to be clear there. The other thing is Ball State. I did an APRA, Freedom of Information Act request, and there's been no communication with the board's trustees on the $1 and 1.5 million. So you better get a commitment, not a letter that says we will do this. That is not a commitment. You need to get something on paper that's been approved by the board of trustees before you proceed on this, because all they've done so far, and I got all the letters that they sent to Ridnour, the mayor, and there's nothing in there about we've approved this.
Good thing he told us who Ridnour was.
It's just communications. This is what we're
now. Kate called me there for the first time in my broadcast time. I think I just fell asleep on you guys in live television. I have been up since like 5 o'clock this morning, and then everything happened last night. I am exhausted. But I have to tell you, I'm glad Kate called, and right for Todd Smeckens, We are watching this on like 1.5, and Todd Smeckens is generally pretty keyed up, but Todd Smeckens on 1.5 is great. And then we go into the show. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That was a bit of the chaos last night. I want to thank absolutely none of you for being concerned about my well-being. But hey, look, you know what? You could have bowed out. You could have just went off the show, but you were invested in what was on the screen, and for that, I thank you. So, you know what truly matters here. And I agree. The show must go on, dead or not. We need to start commenting more to help Kristopher stay awake. I'd like to think absolutely nobody. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get I love every bit of it. I thought it was amazing. I am going to cut that into a short and put up, and so that will forever be it will forever be part of what's going on. So we will be able to keep that forevermore. So if you liked it, you can go back and watch it a little bit later on YouTube. I'll probably put it up tomorrow. But okay, now that we've had the fun, we do have to get back into the seriousness. Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick recap. If you want to go back and watch the full thing, as you saw, I slept through most of it, but you guys can see it. Even while I was talking, I slept through it. But so we're talking about the Muncie City Council meeting from a Monday. I can. So we got through a good majority of it last night. And then at the same time, we still have so much more to go. So we went through the public hearing. We went through the discussion about non-discussion on Resolution 826, which was the investigation into the controller's office. And then the big thing there we heard was Ordinance 926, was the ordinance of the about the fire department issue. And just to remind you guys, that thing passed 7-2. So it passed. The fire department deal is going, and it passed 7-2. So that's unfortunate. We then, before we left the show, we talked a little bit about, we talked in depth about Ordinance 1526 and the vetoed 1326. And I told you guys why 1326 wasn't brought up and why 1526 was withdrawn, and everybody was okay with it. And everybody essentially was okay with it from the neighborhood, the city. I was okay with what's going on. They're still going to have to watch. They're still going to have to stay involved. But right now, that's where we are, and it'll be what it'll be. Okay, we are now getting ready to get ready to rock and roll with Ordinance 1426, and this is the ordinance that's really important, and it's the ordinance that aims to stop the mayor, this mayor, and future mayors from being able to appoint his staff to various governmental boards. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to quickly take a break here, and then when we come back from the break, we are going to get into that and get this show on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the part 2 of this recap of the Muncie City Council meeting from Monday, August 3rd, 2026. This is episode 711, and we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. And we're going to get into this now. And we're going to go ahead and start right here as the counselors get ready to discuss Ordinance 1426.
Moving on to Ordinance 14-26.
Ordinance 14-26, an ordinance for the city of Muncie prohibiting department heads from serving on certain boards and commissions and establishing ethics and conflict of interest standards.
We have a motion to adopt Ordinance 14-26.
So moved.
Second.
And we have a second.
When do we get public comments? Sorry.
Public comment now. Ordinance 14-26.
Go ahead, Linda.
Go ahead.
Because you're watching live, bro.
No problem. Thank you. I wanted to speak on this ordinance because I'm on the Human Rights Commission, and our ordinance on the Human Rights Commission has specific guidelines for membership. And one of those guidelines is religious representation. And up until this last, like May the 31st, we did have clergy on there. And then that person, their time was up and they didn't want to renew. But the point is, if we have that space open for a clergy, then that meets our ordinance, our obligation for that ordinance. So, and also just to keep in mind, the way that it can help other boards and commissions in the community is just going to allow more citizens to be able to be involved. I don't know how many department heads are on boards, and if they're on multiple boards, I don't know. But I think that residential representation is really important. And like I said, I'm mainly speaking for the Human Rights Commission because I'm on the Human Rights Commission and I know what that ordinance says. So I'd like to have that space open up for a clergy because that's one of the requirements in our ordinance.
That's right.
So
everywhere.
Thank you very much.
That's right, Jack.
1426.
Live and fresh. Fresh and live.
Good evening. My name's Patty Goddard. I am a resident of the city of
Now,
Muncie.
I want to talk about this because I've heard more people talk about Patty Goddard. Patty Goddard is the HR director for the city of Muncie. So as she's getting ready to tell us, she works for Dan. She is an employee of Dan. She gets paid because of she was appointed by Dan. She took the place of Micah, who took the place of Steve Lindell's wife, all that nonsense. Patty and Dan don't get along always. They butt heads. So for her to get up here and be like, yeah, I go against him, that's not unheard of. I didn't even know she was on these boards that she's talking about. Hell, I didn't even know these boards were things. So, whatever. I'm just going to be really honest. It's kind of like you'll hear me say when I get up and talk here in a minute. If there was some fireman that was on a board or some street department person and they're on the animal board or whatever, I don't think anybody would know or care. I don't think anybody would give a shit. What this is focusing on, and it has to be common sense. And again, that's the reason this is a problem, because they've removed all common sense from the city of Muncie. No matter if you're in the mayor's office, you're the council, no matter what. Like when you walk into this building, you get dumber if you're somehow employed or associated with it. The problem is that Gretchen Cheeseman is a department head who also happens to be assigned to a pretty important board. And she had some serious issue with the director of the office that board works for. And so as a board member, she pushed to fire that person, and they ultimately did fire that person. Then when they said, well, wait a minute, who's going to sit in there and take the calls? Gretchen Cheeseman offered herself up. Well, I'll do it. What do you mean you'll do it? What do you mean you'll do it? So you mean when you're supposed to be working your job as community development, okay, you're not going to be doing the community development job. You're going to be sitting in the human rights office, answering calls. And the human rights office is there for people to make complaints about people in government. So what happens if someone calls the human rights office thinking that they're talking to someone in the human rights office and they have a complaint against Gretchen Cheeseman? Or maybe not even Gretchen Cheeseman. Maybe it's someone in Gretchen's office. They don't know they're talking to Gretchen Cheeseman. They think they're talking to somebody in human rights. So do you think that's going to go anywhere? That's an issue. I can tell you another issue. How about the mayor's executive secretary working on the MRC? This is not some nothing board. This is a very important board. And it's not, it might even be one thing if the secretary was a do-nothing little old lady that was sitting there quiet. But Shireen Wegley has proven herself to be a very opinionated, very partisan hack individual. She should not be sitting on that board. That's a very good possibility. That's a very good possibility, Danny. They could have talked about that because he had a bunch of people appointed to boards beforehand, but definitely when they came back from that, they appointed more. So yeah, you never know. All right, we're going to go on and let this happen.
See, I do serve on multiple boards and I am appointed by the mayor. I would say as part of this ordinance, it says to prevent ethics and conflict of interest violations, if that's my understanding. If that's correct, you already have an ordinance that addresses that very specifically, and that ordinance is, I have it written right here, 3724. It's the Code of Ethics. And we're already following that, so it's addressed. But I will speak from my personal experience. The comments I'm making are those of mine, not my employer. I have been appointed to commissions. I serve on those commissions. One I have been as regularly, the other with pride, and I serve. And I serve as myself. I'm not some puppet. In fact, I will tell you, I'm the mayor 2 meetings ago. I objected to what he had to say. So if the point is to distinguish that we don't have minds of our own, I can tell you I do. And I see as a department head. And I would also like to point out that at the last meeting, I watched very clearly how you guys didn't know how to word this ordinance. I understand that. But clearly there is some confusion on how the city of Muncie works. We do not have layers of supervisors. We have department heads. 2 departments have an additional supervisor. Then everyone else is an employee. So if they report to an appointed person, you're wanting to exclude them from serving on boards, commissions, and councils. I think that's not advisable because our employees choose to be engaged in this community. And if you put that in the ordinance the way you all were talking, I think that that's a downfall for this community because our employees are involved. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Actually, I do, because I think Ms. Goddard made a good point that we were muddy on the amendment that I brought up. So I would like to actually introduce an amendment. And I want to introduce an amendment that will clean up the language and will basically say that it would be department heads, appointed officials, which we have laid out here according to actually the ethics ordinance that Ms. Goddard was talking about, and then administrative staff of those people. And I've gone ahead and made a copy for everybody, and it just shows exactly where the changes would be. And I've given one to our attorney, and I've got one for you. Let's see. Deputy Mayor, personnel. May I read it, the main part, so that? Yes. So basically, this is changing it so that it's it would be ordinance for the city of Muncie prohibiting department heads, appointed officials, and certain administrative staff from serving. And then underneath the department head is the same that. But then personnel, human resources director, controller, city or treasurer, head of the Department of Public Works, superintendent of Parks and Recreation, chief of police department, chief of fire department, building commissioner, building director, head of the Department of Redevelopment, any and all deputies.
And just FYI, when it's a little robot-y there, that's not me. That's the city's feed. So is that what you just sent? they were having trouble that night too. I don't know what was going on. Maybe they need Hoosier Technologies.
To any of the previously listed and any executive branch official appointed directly by the mayor. And then it would also add administrative staff means any administrative staff working for any of the above. And then, yeah, I'll second that motion.
It's a motion and a second.
Jack.
Thank you.
Like to have a roll call on the amendment.
Yeah, she's so mad.
Yes.
Dishman?
No.
Look at her.
Selby?
No.
Mason?
Yes.
Howell?
Yes.
McIntosh?
Yes.
Basham?
No.
Gullion?
Yes.
Green?
No.
5 yeses, 4 noes.
Okay. Now we have an amended ordinance before us. Continue the public comment.
Wayne Scaife, good job, Sarah. It's still short of my all employees, all city employees, but that's good enough right there. So good job. The young lady spoke about the Human Rights Commission. And one reason we need this is because there's a certain individual department head that's serving on the Human Rights Commission. And I hope we amend this and say immediately, because when a person's job was in jeopardy on that Human Rights Commission, and some of you were there, that department head was so eager to get the vote on and fire that person that they didn't want to hear from, she didn't want to hear from the public. I said she, I shouldn't have said that. So now I know who it is. And so what the young lady said earlier, you know, if you're in the succession line and you report directly to the mayor, it's hard for me to believe that you're not going to feel like he's hovering over you when you're making decisions on these boards.
That's
and I know what she said,
sense,
that's
man.
her. Everybody's not like that. So I hope y'all vote in favor of this as amended.
Just common sense.
Let's continue to make good decisions. And we should have added, like I said at the last meeting, elected officials. Elected officials need to be on here. Thank you.
Actually, ask her something.
May I speak again?
Nine.
I'm sorry. I thought they were just saying, I don't.
Miss Frizz from the Magic School Bus was going to stop up and speak again. And everybody's like, back to the line, Betty. And, you know, so are we tracking how many people speak in favor and how many speak against? Yeah, that's probably an important thing to do. So how many people have spoke so far? So the lady in the wheelchair. Okay, so 4 against. All right. So the lady in the wheelchair spoke, and I apologize for describing her as that. I just don't know what her name is, and that's the first lady that spoke. And then Miss Frizz spoke for, and Wayne Scaife spoke against. Okay. And then Miss Frizz came up to speak again, but she got clapped back to the back of the line. Hey, listen, don't be coming acting a fool at the council meetings, because there are people that have been going to this religiously for years, and we will get you. Okay. So I'm just letting you know.
Good evening, Council, President Green, other council members. My name is Jeff Robinson. I'm the Development Director at Schaefer Leadership Academy, and that's who I'm.
Karen, this is an ordinance that would allow the council to make this ordinance that states that the current mayor and any and all future mayors cannot appoint their employees to city boards and commissions. Instead, when the mayor has to appoint people to the boards and commissions, and when the council has to appoint people to the boards and commissions, they have to appoint people from the city, which is what it was intended to do, how it was intended to be. Okay. So in all fairness, with this count, Jeff Robinson speaking, and he is not for or against. So we're going to put him in the other category. Although while he's not speaking for or against, everything that he says and every bit of his message is for the for category. So speaking for this. So I think I said it backwards earlier. So we've had 2 people speaking in favor of it, and so far we've had 1 person speaking against.
Had we followed up with him about how many of the 51 people that signed up were put on boards?
I haven't, but I know that somebody else has. and they're going to share the information to me. I might send him a text to find out if I can maybe get it faster, but yes, we are in the process of doing that.
Okay.
So that's a good question. Okay,
I
here
need
we
to
go.
Facebook them while we're here. Okay.
Yeah, no. That would be, that'd be a good thing if you're able to do that.
Representing tonight. I'm not here to speak in favor or against Ordinance 14-26. I'm here tonight to speak really because the conversation surrounding this ordinance reminds us of something we can all agree on, that Muncie is filled with people who are willing to serve. Right? I think we can all agree on that. Our boards and commissions depend on citizens who are willing to raise their hands and say, I'd like to help. Excuse me. In 2021, Schaefer Leadership Academy partnered with the city of Muncie to create GoServeMuncie.com. Because we recognized a very simple problem. Muncie is full of people, again, who want to and are eager to serve and get involved, but many don't know where to start. They don't know what boards and commissions exist, how to express that interest. They don't know how to make themselves available for that appointment. Go Serve Muncie was created to help solve that problem. Again, GoServeMuncie.com. It's a free online resource that connects residents and opportunities to serve on city boards and commissions. It was built on a simple belief. Everyone should have an opportunity to serve, not just those who happen to know the right person or hear about an opening at the right time. No matter what happens with Ordinance 1426, one thing won't change. Our community will continue to need thoughtful, qualified, engaged citizens who are willing to step into leadership roles through service on our board and commissions. If tonight's discussion inspires just one more person to consider serving on a board or commission, then I think that's a positive outcome that we can all agree with. I'd also like, while I'm here, to ask for your help. The past year alone, we've had 51 Muncie residents who have created a Go Serve Muncie profile. 51 in the last year. That's encouraging, but we know there are many more people in Muncie with the skills, experience, and desire to serve. With your help, we can connect.
I want to pause this just 1 second here and tell him, in the 3 years that Jeff was president of the council, there were a couple times that I spoke harshly towards Jeff and spoke harshly towards the council or various council members. But Jeff never told me to watch my mouth. He never told me to watch my language. He never told me to stop talking. I don't know that I ever heard him, I tell you what, I think there was one man that came in that dropped the F-bomb, and I think he told him, hey, he didn't even say, like, knock it off or quit. He just said, all right. But then everything moved on. It's just it's interesting how you approach people. And again, I'm going to send them out an email, just putting him on notice that until he becomes my grandmother, he's out of the business of dictating what I say.
More of them to these opportunities. I would encourage the council, anyone involved in the appointment process to help us strengthen and promote GoServeMuncie.com. Tell residents about it when they ask how they can get involved. Encourage people from every neighborhood, every walk of life to get involved. Create a profile, express that interest in serving. Please also share your ideas on how we can improve this resource so it becomes even more valuable to the people of Muncie. That goes for everyone, by the way. Anyone that has any suggestions on how we can improve this process, we want to hear from you, okay? Most of all, I encourage you to use Go Serve Muncie as a resource when it comes time to make board and commission appointments. Go Serve Muncie was never intended to belong to Schaefer Leadership Academy alone. It was created as a community resource in partnership with the city of Muncie. And like any community resource, it's strongest when the entire community helps shape it, improve it, and when we use it. And to everyone watching in the room or online, if you've ever wanted to help shape the future of Muncie, this is your invitation. Go to GoServeMuncie.com, create a profile, raise your hand to serve, because our community isn't strengthened by one ordinance or one meeting. It's strengthened when people choose and are given the opportunity to serve. Thank you for your time. And most of all, thank you all, each one of you, for your commitment to this community. As a former council member, I know that this is a tough job. I know you guys work tirelessly in representing your respective districts in the city of Muncie. So thank you all for your community service. Thanks.
Mr. Barber.
Mine quite ain't as polished as Jeff's was, but I'm Audie. You need to decide whether this is going to be effective immediately if this passes, or if you're going to grandfather the people that's already in these committees in, and that's a big ideal there. Whether it's grandfathering them in or making them quit and reappoint new people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ellen Whitehead. I'm a Muncie resident, and my views do not represent those of my employer. I want to broadly voice my support for Ordinance 1426. At its core, this ordinance is about protecting public trust. Across all political viewpoints, I would hope we can agree that city government works best when the public has confidence that decisions are being made fairly and independently. This ordinance reinforces that principle by creating clear expectations around ethics and conflicts of interest. One of the ways that you build that trust is by maintaining appropriate independence between different parts of city government. When boards, commissions, and department leadership each have clearly defined roles and can carry out these roles independently, it strengthens the credibility of the decisions they make. It also helps avoid situations where people may question whether personal or professional relationships are influencing outcomes, even when everyone involved is acting with complete integrity. I think that is a key piece of this ordinance. I understand that there are people in these positions who know that they operate independently, regardless of how they are appointed. But my view is that it is the job of policymakers to enact policy that helps promote and preserve these ideals. This is what this ordinance does. Clear standards help protect the integrity of our institutions, the people who serve in them, and the trust that residents place in their local government. This is a common sense policy with a goal that I think we should all agree on. For those reasons, I encourage you to vote in support of this ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next.
Hi, Rob Miller. A city employee, I don't think any city employee has been accused of malfeasance or
I'm playing
being
fast.
manipulated. But Muncie, I think everyone knows this. We don't trust the government. The citizens don't. Because of years past transgressions, this administration and previous ones, there's just a lack of public trust. And it's hard to imagine that a person serving on a board doesn't at least think a little bit about their job. So, they're sitting on this board. Am I going to make my boss mad today? Are they going to cause something? Are they going to jam me up for a promotion? Are they going to do something? Who knows? This is thought. You're not being threatened, but you always think about that kind of stuff. So we got that problem. At the beginning of this meeting, we made an amendment that made complete sense. And I saw 4 people who I know vote pretty much lockstep with the mayor. I imagine Jerry gets a call from the mayor to brief him on all these meetings right before he gets here. Never seen him go against the mayor since he switched parties. Dale, you've publicly said that you will do whatever the mayor asked you to. You are his representative on the board. You've publicly said that. So can't trust what you want either. Councilman Green, don't know you well enough. Well, I would have thought you would have supported this. I believe you don't. But I think we can trust the citizens of Muncie to be independent on boards and run them. I don't think we need the mayor's secretary. I don't think we need department heads sitting on these boards giving more power to the people in office. This applies if the Democrats won the next election. I may support one party or the other, but I don't want the mayor having influence over public boards. That's insane.
All right. Okay. This is very important. So of everybody that spoke, if everybody that has spoke out of everyone so far, the first person mentioned the preaching, the preacher requirement. Wayne talked about Gretchen without mentioning Gretchen, but that's who he was referencing. And this guy, Rob, mentioned Shereen Wegley without mentioning her name. So we've had 3 specific people mentioned by 3 different people. We've not had anybody double teaming and triple teaming up on one specific person. We've had a couple different people mentioned. I want you to keep that in mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Rita Faulkner, and I'm a Muncie resident. I just have 2 short points. Not having department heads on boards would help promote the independence of boards and commissions from the administration. It would help avoid conflicts of interest. Second, it would give more opportunities for local residents to hold the positions and participate in government. It would contribute to more perspectives being considered. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I guess it's my turn. I truly didn't know the order of the meeting, so I apologize. Patty Goddard, resident of Muncie, my comments do not reflect the opinion of my employer. They do, however, reflect the opinion of me as an HR professional. In my profession, we develop policies. We develop policies based on a trend or something like that. If this is being developed for 1 or 2 specific department heads, I find that concerning. Because if we have, this is a bad term to use, but a bad apple in the bunch, we don't create a whole policy around that one person. We address that one person. And the next thing I would say is that, does this also apply to you all appointing people? Because your ordinances, the exact ordinances, are the ones that say that you appoint people. So this is my opinion. Your I've never had a conversation with the mayor's office. You are restricting the mayor's powers while not restricting your own. That's my observation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you, Ms. Goddard, you had said that you make policy, and then that means, I mean, I'm trying to understand how that came into play in regards to
This
you
topic?
serving on a board.
No. It had nothing to me serving on a board. I'm saying this is a policy. My profession, like policies of other things. We don't do it based on one or two employees.
I don't know if the city council would appoint a department head, certainly wouldn't be approach to us in regards to making decisions. My thing, and I understand why you would be.
Yeah, Kate brings up a good point there. The council doesn't have employees. Everyone this is what the administration that up. I was thinking while I was sitting back there, but then I was getting mad when there was different things because everyone that the council employs or mentions is someone from the community. That's what's happening there. It's not you. It's the C-suite. They broke up a couple times throughout the thing. I don't know. People are bitching about it.
By this,
I am.
You are breaking up too.
I enjoyed
my
I am
perspective
now.
is this.
As we're talking about, great. Doing that. Doing a test. Speed test. Doing a second one. Stand by. Okay. It looks. Well, we should be good. Are we good now? Can you hear me? Test 1, 2, 3. Kate, can you hear me? All right, here we go.
If one Muncie resident doesn't file a complaint with the Human Rights Commission, doesn't have an issue solved by your office, doesn't contact something, go before a board. If one Muncie resident has concern and doesn't do that because they're afraid they won't get a fair shake because someone on that board is appointed by their boss, then that's not what I want to put out there. It is about transparency. And if one person doesn't advocate for themselves because they don't feel like they would have a fair shake, then I feel like this policy is in the best
Jack.
interest of the many.
Is that a question for me or are you just making a statement?
I'm making a statement.
Okay.
You had mentioned that you are on one board that you don't attend often.
I attend more frequently than most, I would have to say.
And you're on another board
that I attend very
May I
regularly.
ask what boards you're on?
Yes, the Delaware Visitations Bureau, which is called Destination Muncie, or the Convention and Visitors Bureau. We meet once a month. It's a very
board
organized
that
meeting, and we do a
doesn't
lot of
I mean,
things
it does
in the
good
meeting.
work, I guess, but
and I say we have a team that works for the board, of course, and it is made of members of all walks of life throughout the community.
So I find that interesting. After she mentioned that, and she says that a couple weeks ago that she had there was a situation where Dan came to her meeting and wanted her to vote a certain way, and she actually went the opposite way. I find that interesting, and I think I'm going to file a record request, and I might send her an email and find out exactly what it was that Dan wanted. Because really quickly, what was it that she said? What was her boards?
Serving on a board.
No. It had nothing to me serving on a board. I'm saying this is a policy, essentially. And I'm saying in the course of my profession, I
boards
create
are they?
about other things. And we don't do it based on one or two employees.
I don't know that the city council would appoint a department head, and they certainly wouldn't be betrothed to us in regards to making decisions. My thing, and I understand why you would be a little rustled by this, giving you on two commissions. Hold on just a second, please.
I enjoy
But
that,
my perspective is this. If one Muncie resident doesn't file a complaint with the Human Rights Commission, doesn't have an issue solved by your office, doesn't contact something, go before a board. If one Muncie resident has concern and doesn't do that because they're afraid they won't get a fair shake because someone on that board is appointed by their boss, then that's not what I want to put out there. It is about transparency. And if one person doesn't advocate for themselves because they don't feel like they would have a fair shake, then I feel like this policy is in the best interest of the many.
Is that a question for me or are you just making a statement?
I'm making a statement.
Okay.
You had mentioned that you are on one board that you don't attend often.
I attend more frequently than most, I would have to say.
And you're on another board.
That I attend very
May I
regularly.
ask what boards you're on?
Yes, the Delaware Visitations Bureau, which is called Destination Muncie, or the Convention of
Delaware Destinations. Okay. And what?
Visitors Bureau. We meet once a month. It's a very organized meeting, and we do a lot of good in this community. And I say we have a team that works for the board, of course, and it is made of members of all walks of life throughout the community. And it is something that enhances the life. It has helped me be engaged with Muncie because I moved here. This is just about Pat.
The other board?
Great.
Yes, I serve on the Delaware County Muncie Disability
All right. That's interesting to me.
Awareness Council, and we're just an advisory council.
Did you watch this? Watch this, Kate. Watch what she does here. I'm in the back of the room and I watched her do this. Watch what this freak does. This is gross. Watch this.
The community.
Watch when she names the other board, what she does with her hands. I want you guys to tell me what she does with her hands when she mentions the second board. Watch.
It is something that enhances the life. It has helped me be engaged with
right
Muncie because
here.
I moved here. This is just about Pat.
The other board?
Yes, I serve on the Delaware County Muncie Disability Awareness Council.
When she said, I served on the other board, what did she do with her hands? Come up here real quick. I'm asleep in the back of the room. What did she do?
She pointed at the lady in the wheelchair.
She pointed to the lady in the wheelchair. She pointed to the lady in the wheelchair. I watched her do that. And
that's disgusting.
I didn't say anything about it when I was back there because for 10 seconds, I thought maybe the reason she did it was because it happened to be the same board, but it's not. The lady in the wheelchair is on the Human Rights Board. So it's not like she knew her and was pointing to a friend or a fellow board member. She was pointing to a disabled. I was pointing to the disabled lady. Weird.
Gross.
Oh, dude, these people are weird people. That's so weird to me.
And we're just an advisory council, so we have no, as I would say, teeth.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Okay, so what on these two boards, what on these, Linda, the lady in the wheelchair, also serves on that disability council? Okay, that might be fair then. I will give her the benefit of the doubt then. Could very well be true that maybe she was pointing to a fellow board member. I just didn't like that she did it. She could have said it without doing that. I don't know why she had to do that. I don't know. It's just very strange. But I want to know what of those two boards did Dan recently come to the meeting and she have to have some big internal fight and vote against him? And it was like she was afraid I can lose my job because I voted against the mayor on the disabled board. That's a bunch of crap.
Hi, I'm Cheyenne Reed. I'm a Muncie resident. I've lived in Delaware County my whole life. I think this is an awesome ordinance. I think the boards that are available need to be accessible to the public. I don't know the lady before me's qualifications, but I guarantee you I could find 5 people that could be on those boards that would actually show up. I know a lot of people in the community and people in this room that could sit on both of those boards. Not saying she doesn't show up, but obviously others don't. The Go Serve thing is great. I love it. I'm pretty involved and I didn't know about it until a month ago. And I filled out my application. I've heard nothing from anybody. Maybe there's nothing open. I don't know. When are those available? There's 51 people who applied for in the last year. I would like to see the data of how many of those people were actually contacted and how many of those people sit on boards now, because there are thousands of people in Muncie. We can find people that aren't in the top of these organizations. Democrat, Republican, I don't care. Forever. I don't care who the next mayor is. It's across the board, bipartisan. We have other people that want to serve. They should be allowed to serve. And this helps that. And it helps get that information out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Someone just yelled.
This should not be a question of whether someone trusts the government or doesn't trust the government, or we're happy with this government or not happy. This is America. We're not supposed to just lay over and trust the people that are up there or trust these people. We're supposed to question. That's what we do. We have the right to redress the government and to question and wonder and be concerned and voice those concerns. And that's what's happening here. I think that this is frustrating because if this were rank and file police officer or rank and file fireman or somebody from the street department that was on a board or whatever, nobody probably know. But the fact that it seems like some of the most concerning issues tend to be around boards where the mayor's secretary is on the board. And it's not like the mayor's secretary who is quiet and nobody knows this person's name. This person is a lightning rod in the city. For good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent. This person has fought with people, and maybe people have fought with her. I've watched these meetings where she has attended and has treated people rudely. Like I'm saying, like treated people rudely. You guys might think like I treat you rudely, but that's part of what the situation is. You get paid for me to treat you rudely. If you were treating me rudely, I have a serious problem, and I do.
I want to know who. So Roe laughed, which I'm okay with. You know, I want to know which one of the men went. Oh, I don't know who it was. I can't tell which one did it. When even looking at them, I swear. All of you, please remind me before the next council meeting. Remind me. What? Am I getting messed up? What are you doing? What? Okay. Remind me when we go to the next, ahead of the next meeting, that when I address it. Check. Well, we're a lot better, but we still have some problems, apparently. Give me a second. Doing a test. And the reason I'm doing the test is because I have to provide this information to him, because we are going to eventually get these bugs out totally. See, it looks like everything's going good. I don't understand why things aren't going well. It seems as if speed test. Read the speed test here. Check it, do it. Okay, so I see what the problem is here. And I don't know why that is. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay. Okay, is it better? Are we better now? Okay. Sorry. I don't think it happens when it's, I don't know. No, the computers are definitely good to go. Okay. It's something else besides that. All right. So anyways, what I was going to say is from now on, before the meeting, or at least for the next meeting, you need to remind me when I go up to speak to these people. It's not Wi-Fi. I'm connected, hardwired in. That's the that's what we're working on, trying to deal with this crap problem in real time. We've got most of it dealt with, but we still have a few bugs we have to work out. Anyways, I need you guys to remind me that when I go up, I need to say that I want the camera guy to keep the camera on the council, because we don't need to see me in the audience. I want to see, you guys need to see what I'm seeing when I'm talking to the council. I think that would be a big eye opener if you guys could see what I'm seeing when I'm speaking. So I'm going to start doing that. I just need to remember to do that. All right, here we go. Why I chew you guys asked about it, okay? That's what this is about, all right? You don't have to worry me about language. We're all adults. We'll move on. Here's the deal, okay? This is like Nora's ordinance for the transparency thing of who could file the ordinances. This is common sense. The fact that there are 4 of you that are set up here and just lockstep vote against it to begin with, just because that's the way, because you have a Republican or you're a trans Republican or whatever the deal is, okay? So here's the thing,
Are you looking to see if your handlers are like not approving of what I'm saying?
Speaking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, you have 3 minutes.
No, I don't have 3 minutes. That's public concerns. You've not told anybody else. Why do you do that to me? If you would just stop doing that stuff.
You are entitled to limit.
But we've never done that before. And I find it hilarious that you're just attempting that you constantly attempt to silence me. That's bullshit.
Stop the language.
What?
Please stop.
It's bullshit. If it might not be, but let me explain to you. You will not violate my rights.
I'm not violating.
You are when you try to silence my voice. You will not do that.
I've given you ample time.
So to be very clear, don't shake your head, Ro. Don't shake your head. Sit up there and take it or resign. Listen to me. Dale said when he ran that he wanted to be a voice and a vote for the mayor. That's what he said. And there are other people on these boards that the mayor has appointed, and it will be Democrats. And I'm going to tell you, I have had conversations with some of these same people about other administrations, and they haven't liked it. So you guys can just do the right thing. You can be mad at me, but if you wouldn't try to silence me and do all the gameplay, we wouldn't need to do this. I can talk respectfully and I can be calm, but I'm tired of how you treat me. If you want respect, treat me with respect, and you will get it, sir. Okay? Vote for this, pass it, and let's get on this.
Not that hard.
We limit comments as per.
It was.
Okay. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Is it still bad? Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Check, 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 check.
Okay, so this now
Would require
3 minutes.
would require a vote of the council.
Council would have to agree to it.
Yes.
Do it next meeting. Does it require a motion?
So I can go for like 40 minutes then if I want to tonight. Okay, I'm joking. Okay, I wasn't gonna go up and talk. I'm on the Human Rights Commission. I don't represent it, obviously. I'm just one of 9 members. I'm an occasional private citizen. The thing is, I think with encouraging residents to join, I think not only is it not, the opportunities aren't really being given to people, being known to people, but there's also discouragement of people serving, and also I think just suppressing, stopping people from doing it. So I'll just say, for example, with me and the Human Rights Commission, with me getting appointed, when I sent out emails to all of you, that was then sent not only to people at City Hall, but also given out to the Republican GOP in the county. And so people like the mayor and Republican Party Chairman Tim Overton were like, even though I just sent out an email to you guys, and I didn't tell anybody else, there was still, you guys were just giving it out to all these, fucking creeps, to be honest.
Watch the language, please.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what you're doing. So, I mean, like, and I also reached out to you guys to ask, like, why was this happening? I mean, I find it really weird that I sent out an email to you guys and you guys are like, oh, I need to talk to, all these other creeps. I mean, just curious who did it. I'm just curious. I mean, sent out an email to, the Republicans about, because it's just, here's the thing, is that if Jim Lutton, with the parks.
All right. I'm going to try something for a second. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? Is it buffering when you look at me and hear me and see me? Not good at all.
The sound is okay. Well, right now. The picture looks like a very cloudy film over everything. Green needs to watch his interruptions.
Yeah, I really can't deal with him doing that. That's really crazy. Yeah, see,
When
the
you have
upload
gone,
What?
we're 2 hours into the meeting at this point, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're 2 hours into the meeting. You have not once, and that Patty woman talked probably 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Not a word to her
Yeah.
about her time. Not
Yeah.
a word to anyone else about you're
Yeah.
getting close to your 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Kristopher stands up and you want to say, you will have 3 minutes, shut up and sit down.
Yeah.
No, equal application under the law.
Absolutely.
So go ahead and make me shut up and sit down and I'll sue your asses
Yeah.
and I'll win.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I tell you, I tell you what the deal is. I've got a plan for the next meeting. And I tell you, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to worry about the rest of the meeting. If you guys want to go watch the meeting, if you want to see that, you can go take a look at it. You can find the meeting on the city's YouTube page. You can find the meeting on you can find the meeting on our page. It's garbly, and I apologize for the audio. I apologize for the video. We are working on it. We've gotten a lot better tonight, but we still apparently have some issues. And I'm going to be honest. I think I've just made the determination that I probably, we'll go through that really quickly. I will play that. I will tell you, I think probably what happens is over the weekend, I'm probably going to move upstairs. Is probably what's going to happen. That's you guys. So okay, and we're
And now it's gone to complete and utter crap where you're frozen and I can't hear you anymore. So I don't know if you need to leave and come back.
Give me a second.
So we're going to be back in an upstairs basement. Awesome.
Well, not actually. We'd just be on the main floor. I've never been on the main floor before. That's weird.
Oh, we're going to be fancy then.
We're just going to be on the main floor. Yeah, Kate sounds all right.
Oh, I'm not using his interwebs.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
I'm going to move in with Kate Niles. Oh, you know what?
What? Did you just figure it out? Bilbrey screwed it up.
Wait a minute. I want to see something.
Oh, Kristopher.
Give me a second here. I want to see what this thing does for me.
If you're not sleeping, your internet is sleeping.
Yeah, right. That's hilarious.
That was Stumblefoot.
That's good. Okay, we're trying a test out here. Now, look at that.
Look how pretty that is.
Do I look good? Well, no.
Well,
but does the screen look? Nope. Now it just happened. Yeah, everything.
The picture quality is very good.
Is it now?
Yeah. I feel like we're at the eye doctor. Is 1 better or 2?
Yeah.
3 or 4? I need to make appointments for me and the kids.
So nobody, you guys won't notice anything. The video will look. Yeah. That's a very good possibility. Mike Jones. I haven't thought about Mike Jones in a long time.
The bunker.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. I need to dig out of the bunker. We're so far bunkered that we're under earth and nothing gets to us apparently. No, you guys won't notice a difference. It'll look like this. I'll just be in a different room looking like this. So you guys won't notice anything. It'll just look like this. But okay, we're gonna try this one last time, and if it shits out on me, then we're gonna just be done. But we're gonna try this. So give me a moment because I think I might have fixed a problem, but we'll see. Yeah, right. That's exactly right. And the thing is, I'm right there's a window. So it's not like I'm too bloody down. I just don't get it. Should not be this hard.
Parks Board or, who else, like Seth Rawlings with redevelopment. I don't think that would get so much narrowed like attention where like a whole political party would be like, oh shit, we need to stop this person from joining, So like, I don't know why. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
No,
right?
Of course not.
Do you agree?
I'm listening to you.
Wait, sorry, repeat that. I couldn't hear you.
I said, I'm listening to you.
You're listening to
Continue
me.
with your
I mean, do you think it's kind of creepy that like I give out, I exclusively gave an email to you guys saying I'm interested in this. Here's my resume and everything. And then you guys are just like giving it out to a political party. I mean, isn't that not weird? Right. I mean, do you have an answer or no? You don't? Okay. So that's the point I'm making is just that first of all, I think that with a lot of these roles, the only time I've ever seen it promoted, like here's a role that came up or something, it was like the Ethics Commission on one occasion where that would say like, oh yeah, next month we're voting on this. But any other time it's never been put out there. Like, here's a, next month we're voting on this to put someone on the commission or anything like that. So I think that should be encouraged a bit more to have, people added and everything to like get actual residents on, not just be like here's people close to the mayor, here's people close to, the Republican Party and whatnot. I mean, any thoughts, concerns, anything anyone wants to say or no? Okay.
All right. I want to speak to what Daisy was talking about there, okay? This is very, very important. So I noticed something that occurred, okay? It's interesting to me that Muncie City Councilor Jeff Green, a Republican representing District 1, seems to go off the rails. Not often. Just he goes off the rails, getting sideways, displaying his version of anger. Like he got really lippy with Daisy there. He's tried shutting me down during this meeting a couple times, attempting to silence citizens, particularly myself, and telling other duly elected councilors that they should not interact with constituents during the public comments portion of the meeting. You'll hear that in a moment. All of that always only seems to happen when Delaware County Republican Party Chairman Tim Overton is in the audience. That always seems to be the moment when Councilor Green decides to puff his chest out and put on his tough guy performance. That's interesting. It may be a coincidence, but I just don't believe in coincidences, honestly. It certainly appears to be an interesting pattern no matter what is actually happening. While discussing Chairman Overton, it's important for you guys to remember that he attended back in January, and to my recollection, Overton has only attended 2, possibly 3 meetings. Those meetings being he attended on Monday night, and then he attended in January. Now, it's possible that he might have attended in February too, but I know it was definitely last Monday and then January. So it was definitely those 2, but it might have been February as well, but the fight was still raging. What's important about that, okay, is this. You may recall that in the January meeting, that was when Jeff Green first became the council president, and he was attempting to change the housekeeping rules of the council meeting. Do you remember that back in January? Remember when he was doing that? Okay. What's odd about that is after that meeting in January, the next morning, the exact morning after the meeting, Delaware County Republican Party Chairman Tim Overton called me on the phone. That telephone call was recorded, and then only after Tim Overton and others called me a liar about what I was saying Tim said to me, because I was telling people what he told me in the phone call. And what he told me in the phone call was more or less that the rules change to the council wasn't just a Jeff Green idea, that this was something that was coming down from himself, something coming from the mayor. And I lost my shit with that. I said, that's not something that is good. And then I started telling people about that, and they started telling people that I was lying. And because they told me that I was lying, okay, I decided to publish the phone call. Now, it's ironic that after making Overton look like an idiot, he has refused to interact with me. I get it if he doesn't want to talk to me over the phone, but he won't talk to me in public. And he literally tells other people that, his problem, he's got a major issue with me. It's very weird and very creepy, okay? But it's weird that that's the only time that Jeff Green can act like he mans up and gets a little tough, is when Tim is there. It's very, very, very strange. That raises concerns. It raised concerns then, and it raises concerns now. A political party's central committee or leadership structure should not be dictating the internal operations of the City of Muncie's legislative body. Once a candidate is elected, they are no longer responsible for merely the Republican or Democratic organizations. They become a public official charged with representing the entire community: Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, non-voters, and everyone else in between. Christians, Buddhists, Muslims, atheists, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Likewise, the mayor should not be determining how the city council conducts its meetings or exercises its legislative authority. The executive and legislative branches are supposed to be checks and balances to one another. When the mayor or party leadership begins influencing council procedure, that separation becomes dangerously blurred. The public pushed back forcefully against the January stupidity, that proposal that was trying to be pushed forward. Citizens, including the political spotlight and our audience here, challenged that effort. The proposed restrictions were ultimately defeated, and the council's public comment process remained substantially intact. Okay? I think it's interesting that that's what's happening. I'm telling you, we are going to have to fight in September, because when September comes, they are going to be coming with with rules that they're going to be voting on, that they're going to only let people speak once during the ordinances. They're only going to let us speak for 3 minutes during that period. And those have historically not happened, because the reason that they've never limited ordinance conversation is because they have in the past felt that the public's input right before the ordinance vote is something that is sacred and needed. And I can tell you, if they start to do this and they say that we can only speak for 3 minutes during the ordinance conversations, and if they push my hand and they start to control how and when and what we can say, I am going to have to eke up the temperature of the theatrics a little bit. We're going to have to maybe cuss a little more. I'm going to have to go to a public hearing and speak for 50 minutes. That would really be a thing. That would be like my version of the "Now Are You Asleep?" I wish I could have showed that, because that is exactly what it looked like. I would love to go. That would be my version of the filibuster. I would go to a public hearing and just continue speaking about whatever the topic is. I would here's what I would do. I would put the topic into AI, and then I would tell AI to give me a 50-minute speech about that topic. and just sit there and read it off? Hey, look, if you want to get nuts, let's get nuts. You know what I mean? I don't know, man.
Sam Johnson. I'm the current chairperson of the City County Council for People with Disabilities, which is the board that was alluded to earlier by Patty. And I just want to say that before I say anything, she's done a great job. When I came on to the board, we were in a great state of disarray. I was trying to figure out where all the documents were and everything. And so far, my 10 years, mostly housekeeping, getting us into order, and she's been a great help to that. So I want to give her props for that. And I want to speak to the concern that there are people who are very civic engaged and civic minded in the city government who want to serve on these boards because they're very generous with their time. And I understand that. And these are great people. We don't want to discourage that. However, from the point of view of the public, the actual presence of corruption and the appearance or the possibility of corruption, there's little to no difference between those. And to those people in the city government who want to continue to help us, there's nothing saying that they can't be engaged in other ways. And I think we should encourage boards and commissions with members of as Patty mentioned, the Disability Advisory Council has no teeth. So I mean, it's we joke about we're deciding if we need to appoint a treasurer and if we need to worry about them embezzling the $0 budget. So just to give you an idea of how little teeth we have. And so that's where I'm coming from. But I understand that there are boards and commissions where having a voting position on that board, that's going to directly impact people's lives. And if the person who's casting that vote, so I think that's where the real danger is in the appearance of the potential for corruption. And so I want to give mad props to the city government employees who want to be engaged. And I think we need to find ways to keep them engaged and allow them to engage. But at the end of the day, we need to avoid that appearance of corruption. So I do broadly favor this just in my personal capacity. And I think what someone said about should we grandfathering people in, I think that would be a good compromise. But again, that's just me speaking in my personal capacity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and one last thing, the board, the Disability Council Advisory Board, we do have openings currently. Some of our members are appointed by the mayor and some of them are to be appointed by the county board of commissioners. So if you're interested, especially if you have any connections with the disability community, or if you're a person with a disability yourself, we would love to have you either as a council person or as just come and join us for our meetings. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oscar Kreider, City of Muncie, born and raised. I just wanted to come up here and I'll keep my comments brief because I know you guys are eager to finally vote on this and move on. Being born and raised here, and especially spending my formative years here in the 2010s is an experience, and it definitely formed me. To be in my 8th grade chemistry class and to hear that the mayor was arrested for corruption was a formative experience of me and really affected my position on how the city operates. It doesn't take a lifelong resident. It does not take a lifelong citizen. It does not take someone who's born here. You could be here for 2 seconds and you could realize that the slime that is in this city government is, quite frankly, more than you would see in other cities. And I'm proud of this city. I love this city. I go into every single one of these meetings hoping that every single one of you makes me proud. A lot of you disappoint in that regards a lot of the time, but I do. Yes. I do. And I think that all of you, I don't want to accuse you of any of you of being in lockstep of the mayor. I don't want to do that. I think that's been done enough already. But I think a lot of you need to do the right thing and you need to vote in favor of this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Chris Smith. I wasn't planning on speaking on this issue tonight, but
I
sometimes
like what this guy has to say.
You get inspired by people to speak about something and you're not really planning to. So I'd like to commend Cheyenne, because she made me think and kind of inspired me to say something. If you just take out of the mix, take this issue out of, you don't want department heads serving on things, whatever that is. If you can do something to engage more people civically, Why wouldn't you do it? About a year and a half to 2 years ago, I decided I wanted to become more civically involved. It wasn't easy to do. I had to reach out to multiple people. Did it happen? Yes. I currently serve on the Muncie Planning Commission. Do I enjoy it? Yes, I do. So if you take all that other stuff out and you just ask yourself, do we want people, citizens, to be more civically involved? Would that help? If you answer, I don't see how you can not answer yes to that question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you see that text?
Audie Barber again. You're president of the council. You're not God. You can't just say that I'm going to limit it to 3 minutes. You've got regulations that you have to follow, young man.
I asked legal counsel.
You have to vote on it. Anyhow, it really upsets me that how I used to come in here and get pretty angry. Used to. This is nothing what I used to do. Your actions up there would have got you escorted out of here had you been.
I don't know what all he's talking about exactly, really, at the moment.
Your actions up there are not professional. Say what you want to say. They were not professional, Mr. Green.
Audie's going to escort the guy out of there.
Get too hot-headed and you feel like you need to resign, I'll get you a piece of paper. Don't be that way to these people. These are the taxpayers of Muncie, Indiana.
They are.
You don't act like that because you are on that side of the table,
mouthy
not this side.
Jeff
Thank you.
Bing?
Hell yeah.
Good evening once again. If I could just really quickly, as you decide on your vote, the only thing I would request is, and maybe legal counsel can maybe speak to whether it is or not, but the police and fire pension boards are a statutory, requirement that we have. They require
You just
4 active members plus retired member, and then by statute, I'm the president of that board, which I know would still be true.
Bro.
I would just ask that maybe a carve out for those 2 boards. They're voted on by the active
We
members
already
and the
covered
retirees,
this
so I wouldn't want
last
something
month.
coming back and saying that maybe a member of my staff can't serve on that board. So if you would consider that, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
I like Dan Burford as a
Do you want to
person.
speak to that? Just
Since I've been called upon, I do believe section 4B of the ordinance would address that particular concern. It says that nothing in this ordinance shall be construed to prohibit service that is expressly required by Indiana statute.
Right.
right.
Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Mason.
Citizens arrest.
Being the sponsor of this ordinance.
Here we go.
It's an important step towards strengthening transparency, accountability, public confidence in Muncie's government. It is not about questioning the integrity of department heads. It's about establishing clear, ethical boundaries that help protect both public officials and the public we serve as a council. This ordinance promotes independent decision-making.
And listen to me. I feel like every now and then I've just went so far into it. I have to just remind people, my friends, and I know that there are people on here that are going to like it. There are going to be people on here that don't like it. And it is what it is. And I apologize. It just is what it is. I am a constitutional conservative, bro. All right. I'm supposed to be on the same side as these people. But when they just constantly keep doing the wrong damn thing, I can't do it.
Reduces conflicts of interest and the appearance of conflicts.
Fire at the microphones tonight.
And protects department heads from being placed in situations where their administrative duties could conflict with board responsibilities. Adopting this ordinance reinforces the separation of responsibilities that strengthens the integrity of both boards and commissions and the executive branch. It establishes consistent, ethical standards, help prevent future disputes, and demonstrates the council's commitment to sound governance practices. Passing this ordinance will send a clear message that this council and the city of Muncie values transparency, accountability, and the responsible stewardship of the public's trust.
Any other comments this evening by council?
I do. I'm going to just mention a couple things why I do not like this ordinance.
Now, all right. All right. Everybody, if I like Roe. I know a lot of you don't. I like Roe. Even when she does dumbass things like this. I don't like what she does when she does this. She can do what she wants. We'll argue the reasoning, and I mean, I'll tell her what I don't like about this, but this is probably one of the craziest rants from Roe that I've ever heard, because it has nothing to do with anything that's actually going on here. Listen to this.
It's my time to speak now, Mr. Barber. Thank you.
First of all, you do not make legislation. I agree with you, Patty, based on you not liking one person or a department head. I don't like all the department heads. I'll just make it public. But I'm not going to sit there and make a legislation because I have a beef with a person. Sorry. Next. I'm not done talking. It's my turn.
I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to say something that other people might like. There were several people, Audie and others, that were catcalling and yelling things out at different things when Roe was talking. And she has to keep fighting back and saying, hey, it's still my time. I did not like that. I don't do, see, this is what people don't understand. If I am disrupting a meeting, there is an absolute reason that that's happened. I am not just going to disrupt someone speaking. Okay? There is a wild difference between that. She, as a council person, has the right and the ability to talk up there. This is her time to speak. She should have been permitted to speak. Here's the thing, because what she says is completely nuts. I mean, it's just completely off the deep end. So I wish that they would have just let her say it, so we could have all together been like, hey, that's insane what you're saying. But I think that doing what they did, it just emboldens them. See, they lump us all into that, and they think that, they think that emboldens them. That's why we've got to get these people under control. And it's like, no, it's not the same thing.
Have your time to come and respond back. Second thing. No, it's my time, please, because you guys all fight for your time. I'm fighting for mine. Thank you. The second thing, I'm fine. I will be done in 3 minutes. You're right on that one. Expertise. You take department heads out of some of those committees. These department heads are the expertise. They are the liaison to the city.
This is the dumbest part of the argument.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me what expertise Shireen has about redevelopment.
Yeah. Not a damn thing.
What do any of the people on that board have about redevelopment?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. What expertise does
the
Gretchen
Sanitary
Cheeseman?
Commission.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Do you all work, unless you worked as a plumber?
Yeah.
Or as a trash man?
Yeah. Don't talk to me about expertise. You guys are all on the council and you're all dumber than a box of rocks.
Don't tell me there aren't people who actually do that for a living.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be great on that board.
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you someone that would be. Audie would be great. Audie would be great on the MSD. And you know how many people are out there that do the same thing that Audie does that would do it? That would be great. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
There are lots of people that do that. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point, Kate.
Things about laws, ordinances, how to speed up that. It doesn't matter. Somebody has the best intentions to serve. And these are my opinions, just like everybody else. I'm just explaining myself to you. That they have, that some people will take a longer time to learn, number two. And third, it's that separation. We get to pick. The mayor cannot come and tell me, do not appoint somebody as a council person on a committee. It's none of, excuse my language, his business. I do not, and it's none of my business to tell him as a mayor who to appoint. You have to have that separation. Now, if you believe a department head has done something wrong, we have created an ethics commission. Go file a complaint. Go to the human resource. Don't just take it on Facebook and make our city.
All right, now listen to this. Okay. It's funny that she's talking about checks and balances. I could have talked for 5 hours this night. Because I had the problem is they do so much dumb shit, you can't get it all in. Okay, so first of all, there is no checks and balances, Roe. The mayor does what he wants. He tells you guys what to do, and you guys vote right along with him, and it's the same shit show. It doesn't matter. All right? Whatever. It is what it is. All right? So that's that.
Ordinances are how the council provides a check and balance against the mayor. So
ding,
this
ding, ding,
ordinance
ding, ding.
is your check and balance, sweetheart.
Yes. Totally insane. Okay, then the next thing is she's getting. I love what she's getting ready. She says, "We don't get to go and tell the mayor. You don't get to tell the mayor who to appoint. Here's what you can do. You can tell him who not to appoint, and he can't or shouldn't at least be appointing department heads and employees. He has a pool on some boards of 66,000 people in the city of Muncie. Some of them he can appoint from Delaware County too. So he's got 112,000 people that he could be appointing from. Okay. No one's trying to tell him who to appoint those. He can appoint whoever he wants as long as it's not his employees. All right. Now listen to this bit of weirdness.
Look bad when there's no bone, no beef. Do not accuse of somebody of doing something wrong that has not done anything wrong just because, just a minute, I'm not done. Just because you think they did something wrong. If you have something on somebody, I encourage you, go to the human resource. If they don't do anything about it, come tell us. Go to the ethics commission. If they don't do anything about it, come tell us.
Come tell you? Come tell you, Ro? All right.
Why would I tell her? Does she have authority over the employees in the mayor's office?
Yeah, right.
Does she have the authority to fire them? Does she have the authority to discipline them as a
Yeah,
council member?
Yeah, what's
no,
telling-
they're separate branch.
Right.
You are not
what's-
going to help in this matter.
Well, right, but then so someone brings you a concern, you guys make an ordinance, and then you all vote it down because you don't want to go against the mayor. So what are you guys do? What does telling you have to do anything about it?
Because it obviously doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do a damn thing.
But
Why
we
do you
need
think this ordinance came forward?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there should be separation. And you know what?
There
And yes,
should be,
and that's for
Ro.
the next mayor. And yes, that might be a consequence. And yes, maybe I can come back and, bite my tongue or whatever. But the thing is, I will never support a legislation based on one person or create new legislation because I don't like a department head or I don't like the mayor. Sorry. And that is how I'm going to explain my
Nora's
vote.
laughing at her.
Yes, Mr. President.
I don't know where you're getting at, bro. Tell me about it. This
I'm
ain't
getting it
against,
from
it
here,
ain't
from
against
Homeland.
nobody. It's not about questioning the integrity of any department head. I don't
Look
have
at
any
Ro.
beef with
And
any
I want to
department
be
head.
very clear, okay? Gretchen Cheeseman and Ro Selvey, I don't know how they are now because of the situation they got going on, but at one point they were very, very, very dear friends, very close friends, okay? They might not be, I don't know if they're good friends now or not because, because if you know, you know, but I don't know what occurred all there, but wait a minute. Her name's not even Gretchen Cheeseman anymore. It's Gretchen Selvey. So I think. Or maybe it's not, but at least she's married to a Mr. Selvey. So Ro is using personal feelings about someone to be as bent out of shape as she is. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not a personal thing. It's all public. Everybody knows. So Rose Selvey and her husband, Steve Selvey, were very dear friends and good friends with Gretchen Cheeseman. Rose Selvey and Steve Selvey got a divorce, a very personal thing, has nothing to do with politics. I wouldn't be talking about it other than the fact that Steve Selvey then married Gretchen Cheeseman. And all, at one point, Gretchen Cheeseman worked for the city of Muncie. Roe was a city councilor, and Steve Selvey was the building commissioner. So, as I say, it's all just so incestuous. Thank you. So, I got to be really honest here, and I want people to know this, and this is way off base real quick, but I just want to tell you the issues that we're still having, I want people to know are not because of the company. They're matter of fact, at this very moment, still doing things to try to help us. So I just want to let you know it's something else going on, and I very much appreciate those people from Hoosier Technologies, and I very much appreciate what they're doing because they are trying to help us.
Mr.
Yeah.
Robinson wrote me.
Okay.
I asked if they were tracking. He said, we currently have no way of tracking if or when someone is appointed from Go Serve. The only way we could do this is if the appointing body, the mayor or the council, reported to us when they do, or the person who was appointed lets us know. It's something we'd love to know, but something that's hard to track.
I don't think that should be hard to track. I think here's what needs to happen. I think it needs to be maybe that's something that Jeff and his team could add, that if you apply and you write in there that then you need to you need to then come back, and if you get appointed, you should check something saying we are appointed to this board. That they ought to make something like that, to where you self-report.
Or follow-up emails or something.
Yeah.
Or the really hard way, attend every meeting for a couple of months and look at all the board members.
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard. Yeah.
Sitting through all, well, I guess you wouldn't even have to sit through.
You wouldn't have to sit through all of them. You just have to, or you just collect the minutes at the end of each.
Collect the minutes or watch the live stream beginning of it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard. It would not be hard.
But they don't track it.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. And thank you, Jeff. So when I served on the Human Rights Commission with Rose, she hated Cheeseman. This isn't all an act. Man, I don't know. I think the hatred towards Cheeseman was an act. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know what because the whole bunch of them, it's all weird. It is what it is. That's personal stuff. I don't care. I will tell you, then even after Steve Selvey left the building commissioner's office, he is appointed to the Muncie Sanitary District. So he's still connected to city government. So it's all so weird.
I wrote this ordinance because I think it's the right thing to do.
Well, on conflict of interest, question for Ro.
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's say you have a department head on a commission, and there are, there's going to be budget restrictions inevitably, and the commission has to decide for its department.
That's absolutely right,
what it's going to do, like what budget it's going to submit. Let's say this department head of another department then says, well, if I try to vote and do something in that commission to restrict that funding, then my department's okay. Do you see that as a conflict of interest?
That, but I just want to remind you, commissions are not just made out of one person. Commissions are not just all voted for by the mayor or all by the city council.
Well, the Human Rights Commission is mostly the mayor, right?
I'm sorry?
The Human Rights Commission is mostly the mayor, right? Like 6 out of the 9.
6 out of you.
Council
you would like, yeah. And if you don't like that, you can approach any of us, and we'll change that composition if you feel like it's not fair.
How can you?
But we do not make legislation based on one person.
It's not about one person. I think that Harold just told you that, right? Okay. What's your response to Harold? What you just said?
I think it is. I honestly think there's been a lot of talk, and I've heard people from council, people from the public, people, and all this accusation. It's not grounded. And if there's an accusation, go to the ethics committee.
Well, I don't think that anybody's saying there's a particular thing that was done by this department head on human rights. No one's accused.
Accusation about what? Again, I'm telling you that one person spoke out about the preacher situation, Linda. Wayne spoke out about Selvey. And I spoke out about Shireen. So that's 3 different people from the public. So I don't know what Ro's saying there.
And I think the concerns that have been raised have been more about potential conflicts of interest than about any accusation of any kind of wrongdoing.
Yeah, no one's saying
money or anything like that.
Yeah.
There is the impression that these people have conflicts of interest that they are allowing to affect their votes. And don't tell me that the mayor's, people on the boards aren't going to be able to sway people to their opinion.
Oh, certainly.
And to what he wants.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. That's absolutely, Wayne. Absolutely. Judge Lennington Lenny says, why is she interacting with the public commentary? I'd say this. I think they should. I think the counselors need to. First of all, they haven't been told not to yet. You'll hear that here in a minute. But I think the counselor should do that. As when someone steps to the podium and asks a question, I think it should be mandatory that the council speaks. They should say, answer it, or at least say, no, I'm sorry, I don't know, I'll get it to you, or I don't know at this time. But they shouldn't ever just sit there with their thumbs up their ass. That should be the fastest way to kick somebody's ass off the council come the next election. It's so damn frustrating.
Anything like specifically happen. It's just that there are things that can come up, like that hypothetical I just gave you, right? Okay.
Mr. Green, if I could step in, there's a couple things I think are going on that are going to make things difficult. Number one is people are talking over each other, which is going to make the minutes a mess. Would recommend we move things along here.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Mr.
Now I gotta be really concerned here. I love Brandon Murphy as an attorney. He's a good dude. He came to my defense a couple times during the meeting. But I was having a bad night that night. Maybe he was having a bad night that night. I don't know. Here's where we really, he told him that, yeah, you can just arbitrarily tell him like the 3-minute rule. Then he came back and said, well, you have to vote on it. So I don't like all of that. You know, I'm going to have to talk to Brandon, because then, you know, I don't need to hear from the council. The council attorney needs to be spoken when spoken to. I'm fine with him saying don't talk over each other. That's fine. But let's not hear we need to move things along. Let's slow things down. Let's be here till 3:00 in the morning.
Something else.
I'm just going to wrap up and just say, I think with the human rights, and I'm sure a lot of commissions have had issues like this, but with human rights, there have been a lot of just, I think, power grabs with it over time, and a lot of restrictions of less and less. Sorry, looking at someone or.
Oh, me? No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm thinking and I'm translating in my head. I apologize.
There's been a lot of restrictions, a lot of power grabs to it. It used to have, I think the most like 4 staff members, 15 commissioners at one point instead of 9. There was a period of time where the mayor at the time, Alan Wilson, actually restricted it to where instead of the executive director being chosen by the commission, it was then chosen by the mayor, and that took a few years for it to be reverted. And there's also just been a lot of stuff where even though in city code it does say diversity is important for it. And especially
anytime someone from the council that was a Republican,
even then there's just been a lot of mayors who just don't apply any
was
diversity
looking
to
at
it.
someone in the audience,
To be honest,
they
kind of
were
where we're
all
at right now. I'm not saying
looking
that's the core
for-
reason to do this or anything,
Yes.
or one of the main reasons to do it. That's the thing about human rights. I just want to point that out. But yeah, that's all.
Thank you.
Mr. Shades.
Since you're addressing my comments, Ro.
Yes.
So my concern with that individual person,
Yes.
because that person serves on the Human Rights Commission.
Yeah.
And if a complaint was brought to the Human Rights Commission about the city, and that person working directly for the mayor, there's a high possibility that person will go back and tell the mayor what the complaint was. And the other issue was, you were at the meeting, at the Human Rights Commission meeting, when the executive director was suspended, and they were just trying to decide who's going to answer the telephones for the executive director. And that department head said, I can answer the phones. So my example was, if a call comes in with a complaint against her department and she's answering the phone, what do you think she's going to do with that complaint? She's not going to answer the phone community development. She's going to answer Human Rights Commission. They don't know that they're talking to the person that they're making a complaint against. That's just an example. But the example is, let's do something about it so that doesn't happen. So we're not just talking about this lady, this lady, this lady. That's just an example. So the way you fix it so it doesn't happen, don't put any department heads on there. That's the issue. So you taking it personal, and it's not.
No.
Okay.
I love one.
Terry Moore, and I wonder how many times people are allowed to come up and speak on the thing. Some have been up here too, and I know.
All right, back up here real quick. First off, what district do you live in, Wayne? You don't have to tell if you don't want, but I'd be interested in what district you live in. But here's Junior Moore, okay? This is the guy that I battle with, and it's like, hey, he has the right to ask this question, but this is an ordinance we're talking about. And the thing that I keep saying, 6th, okay, so you're going to have to run at large. Then. All right.
Should be limited to 1, shouldn't they?
Yes.
Limited to 1.
One time speaking.
One time speaking, Audie. It's funny that some of the people that come up here and make the loudest comments about your council, one doesn't pay any property taxes. The others are late on paying their property taxes. Anyway, that's beside the point. I think we've talked about this enough. Why don't one of you, why don't you call for the question? Somebody call for the question. We've talked about this long
Question,
enough.
please. I call question.
So just really quickly, I need to ask Audie what Terry just said to him there. Darla, if you're still watching this, find this out. I'm interested. I'm interested in that. But I'm interested in what he's saying to Audie here.
Call for a question.
But that was me over in the corner asking the council. So here's the deal. Okay, I'm a First Amendment rights purist. Get up there and say whatever you want. But I will tell you that the council, here's the thing is, it's surprising to me that none of these idiots up here know this. And I'm not trying to be mean to the people that's doing a good job. I like Billy and I like Harold, and Nora's doing a good. Nora knows, and Jerry should. And I don't know if he's taking his medicine today or what. I don't know. But the council has had a long-standing policy that you can get up and address your comments to the council. You can get up and address your comments to the council about the employees or the mayor or other council, other elected officials, but they won't let you disparage private citizens. I guarantee you, if I got up there and started disparaging people, and there's people I could pick out to disparage probably a lot, I guarantee you they would gavel me down. But they don't gavel Terry down. And so that's what I yelled from the side. Aren't you going to gavel this shit down? Is what I yelled. And I like that Terry gets to decide that they can call the question. And then Rose, like she just had an epiphany. Bing. Oh, I call for question. Okay. That's wonderful there. But I also think it's interesting. So I make no secrets about the fact that I don't pay property taxes in the city of Muncie. I don't live in the city of Muncie. Everyone knows that. That's never been a secret. When I lived at the other property, when I lived up on 67, I was not in the city limits. I've always been just a hair outside the city limits of Muncie. Always. Okay. That doesn't matter anything about anything. I can speak and have an opinion about Muncie. I can speak and have an opinion about Anderson. I can drive to Indianapolis and speak and have an opinion. I can drive to Seattle and speak and have an opinion. So that doesn't matter. And then he says someone pays their property taxes late, and that's all been talked about. That, of course, he's talking about Audie, and he's talking about a situation. And let's talk about this. Let's find out what kind of a rude dickhead Junior Moore is, okay? Junior there, I don't know which nickname I like better, Junior or Tiny. Junior there is talking about a time in Audie's life when his first wife had just died, leaving Audie to be a widower with like 2 or 3 children when Audie was like 21 years old. And Audie went through some rough shit. And that's what we're talking. I mean, is that what he's talking about? What a worthless sack of shit Junior Moore is. A man who does not give a damn about the city of Muncie. And you know what? I'm even going to disparage the biggest part of his service as a Muncie City fireman. And the reason I'm going to disparage that is because he was a fat ass, lazy, do-nothing as a fireman. He didn't want fire-based EMS because he didn't want to do extra work. He didn't want to have to take runs and help people. He rode a recliner for years. Okay. Here's what's funny to me. He has a big problem with Troy Delaney, and a lot of people have problems with Troy Delaney for lots of different reasons, and we're not even going to get into that right now. But his issue with Troy Delaney isn't even what other people have. His problem with Troy Delaney was Troy wanted them to work and to train and to work out and to do things to make them better firemen, and he never wanted to get out of the recliner to do that. So I have a big issue with Terry. Terry doesn't come to Muncie City Council meetings and follow along to make Muncie better. Terry only wants what Terry wants. Even other firemen don't like Junior Moore, okay? They have big issues with Junior. There have been Muncie firemen that have threatened to fight him, said things to him like, if you make me get out of this chair at this union meeting, I'm going to beat you to death. So I just want people to know what kind of individual we're not talking about some, amazing award-winning decorated fireman. We're talking about the lowest of the low, the person who has sucked off the tit of the government forever. And now, I guess thank God he's trying to help his brothers in uniform now, but it's not like he gives a damn about the citizens of Muncie.
Call for a question.
We have to take a vote on question being called.
Okay.
So you're making a motion to call question because then we need a second and we need a vote.
I was still yelling.
Council?
That is correct. It is time for the council to address these motions.
Yes.
Are we going to add a motion in terms of whether or not?
So we do go to a second?
Calling the question does require a second. Yes.
Do we have a second?
Yes, second.
Now we go to vote.
Yes.
Okay. Roll call, please.
McIntosh?
No.
Basham?
Yes.
Mason?
No.
Dishman?
Yes.
Garrett?
Yes.
Selby?
Yes.
Julian?
No.
Howell?
No.
Green?
Yes.
Yes, you're right. You're right, Wayne.
Give me a
That
moment.
was for question, was it
That
not?
was for question.
And now we have vote.
Can I have just a moment?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It is affirmative vote of a majority of the council members present, 5. That means the question has been called and that motion has passed.
Now we vote.
So now we vote on the ordinance.
We do need a motion to adopt as amended.
So moved.
A second.
Oh, and just really briefly, yes, Carrie's right. Anybody can look person's property tax records up. You can look all that stuff up. Beacon's a helpful tool and all that. It's interesting that Junior's Terry Moore, the fireman, he must have made several people mad with his little outburst, because a couple different people, interestingly, sent me Junior's property, his property information pulled up right here. It's right there. Okay. And he was given a penalty in 2021. He had a fall penalty in 2020. He was given a penalty, a special assessment penalty in 2021. And so it's interesting to me that if you're going to sling rocks.
When did his wife pass away? Around that same time?
No, I don't know. I'd have to ask Rachel. Why?
Oh, I'm just curious because, shit happens when you lose a spouse.
Yeah.
And you'd figure he'd have more sympathy toward Audie having been in the same boat.
What? That's a very good thing that you made that. And you know what? I'll even go this far. I'm not 100% sure, and that very well could be. And if so, then I apologize for even bringing that up. And I hope that he has the same amount of decency to apologize. So maybe that's what he did. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask Audie. I don't know, but I don't know why he would say it and then turn around and bash Audie like he did, and then turn around and whisper to him. I'm not really sure. It's very interesting. Or maybe he bent down and said, "I wasn't talking about you," but then at that point, I don't know who he would be talking about and why he would be trying to look. I mean, that's just so weird. Think about this. I think people are so entrenched with what they want done that's what, when I go to a meeting, I don't give a shit about anybody else in the audience. I'm not there to ask to poke on anyone in the audience. I don't care about anyone in the audience. I'm there to talk to those 9 idiots up there on the dais. What?
I'm just laughing at the idiots.
Oh,
The
yeah.
idiots on the dais.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just wonder if the same
that's-
isn't true, and if that's the case, shit
Yeah.
happens. I get that. You've lost a spouse. Stuff
Yeah.
falls through the cracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? And I'll be honest.
I just find
Yes,
it
it does.
horrible if he was talking about Audie, that he wouldn't
he
have
was
had more sympathy.
He was definitely talking about Audie. And I will tell you, here's the deal. I'll be honest.
Because he was talking about people being loud.
Huh?
He was talking about people being loud
Who was?
when he got up first. People come up here and be loud and rude. And so
Yeah.
he's definitely talking about. So 2020.
So his wife died in 2020. So that's a very good possibility. And I'll be honest, you are right. When someone has a death, a passing, it doesn't really matter when. But I would probably tell you that when your wife passes away, like 4 days after giving birth to a brand new child, and you're 21 years old, is a little bit different than when your wife passes away when you guys have lived a life for 40, 50 years and you're in your 60s. Probably, maybe a small bit of difference, but I will give him the same benefit of the doubt. So I apologize, Junior. You're still an idiot.
I just find the lack of
But no,
sympathy
that's
there
good.
appalling.
No, that's very good. I forgot all about that, but that is very good. And maybe he forgot about Audie. So we'll just see. I don't know. All right, here we go.
Selby?
No.
McIntosh?
Yes.
Gillian?
Yes.
Basham?
No.
Dishman?
No.
Powell?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Dishman's vote of no on that, like, what are you doing, Jerry? How do you walk around as a man? How do you do it? I don't understand how you're not so embarrassed by yourself.
Garrett?
No.
Garrett, how are you walking around as a man?
No.
Ordinance starts.
Unbelievable.
And we need a motion to vote? That did it.
Yes,
Who's that?
this one, next.
New ordinances, ordinance 15-26.
Ordinance 15 that,
Yes, Mr. Dishman.
I'd like to make a motion to withdraw this.
Okay, we talked about this last night, so we're going past this.
Second.
Call meeting tonight, the president's putting in some limitations, which he's entitled to do. However,
Speak
Miss Patty Goddard, please.
on the public comment.
Okay.
Will the temporary structure be able to house the aerial truck?
No, it will not,
Why not? Just curious.
just because of the size of the base.
Any other questions, council? Any questions from the audience?
Yeah, I will look some stuff up. You're right on Robert's Rules of Order. You're 100% correct. I will look some stuff up state law wise and do some stuff, and yeah, I'll get with you on that.
Yes.
Because I think you are right.
Yes.
Yes. Moving on to public comment.
All right, going into public comment, I want you to listen to this.
I want to remind you, public comment, you have 3 minutes to speak.
Miss Patty Goddard, please.
There you go. The council is not to comment, we're to listen.
What?
We are to listen to what they have to say.
Was that voted on?
No, ma'am, it was not.
Does that require a vote? Mr. Murphy? We can do it next meeting, but I'm just curious why we can't address our constituents when they come to council to express their concerns.
the president has had a difficult meeting tonight. The president's putting in some limitations, which he's entitled to do. However, with regard to procedures of the meeting, we should probably at some point address some procedural requirements on these matters.
Thank you.
And perhaps
Okay. Now, I disagree with Brandon on there 1,000%. You can't just have a difficult meeting, which at this time, it was 9:12. When this happened, it was 9:12. I looked at my clock. 7 to 8, 8 to, this was 2 hours and 12 minutes. This was not a difficult meeting. If this was a difficult meeting, Brandon better hold on to his ass, because this is you ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, we're getting ready to come into the budget meetings, so just get ready, bro. All right, like I love Brandon, but I don't get what he was on one this night, and maybe I was in a bad mood, maybe he was too. I don't get it, but what he just said there is completely asinine. You can put in some we've had a hard meeting, so you can just make some changes, and maybe later on we can vote on it. That is simply not how that works. That is totally crazy. But these people are going to force me to get up and say fuck for 3 minutes straight if they keep pushing this. Then what are we going to do?
Some rules.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I sure will. It looks a little heavy, but I think it's better up there.
Have you started the timer? Has the timer started?
No, it has not.
Okay.
Yeah, right. That's right, Wayne.
I truly came just to give this statement. So I apologize that I contributed. Well, actually, I don't apologize. I meant
right before that nonsense with about the counselors not. And listen, I'm going to tell you, shame on the other counselors for saying, okay, you can say what you want to say, but I'm a duly elected counselor, and I'm going to address the citizens. When you can say what you want to say, we can vote on it next week, but I'm going to talk to them if or when I feel like it. And just FYI, I'm not ever going to not speak to them. Kate, we really need to review the between now and July. I think we need to review all of these slights and this weirdness and come up with a specific statement for me to read to them and just let them know all of the ire that they deserve and that they get for all of the stupidity from this meeting. I'm like, man, it's going to take me 3 months to address all the stupidity just from this meeting.
every word I said, but I'm not going to introduce myself.
And then, I heard that stupidity. I heard that stupidity because I was going to get up and apologize. Here's what I was going to do at the during my public comments, because I had already said basically everything I wanted to say. So I was just going to get up and say, listen, I yelled and I cursed and I apologize. I am done letting the actions of fools dictate my behavior. And then I was going to say, I am sorry. And I was going to turn around and walk away. But right in the moment of me having that thought, Green said, counselors, you can't answer. And that nonsense with Brandon occurred. And then I heard Miss Frizz get up here and say all this dumb shit she's getting ready to say. And I thought, well, there went the apology.
But I do want to thank you, President Green, and members of the City Council, as well as the Clerk's Office, for allowing me to speak tonight.
Folks, we've only got a few minutes left. Don't go anywhere. You need to hear this, and there's only a few others, and we're almost done.
Do appreciate the opportunities.
Really quickly, we're going to take a break. I do need to do that. I should have done it earlier. I was doing well with that. You guys sit tight. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Political Spotlight. Oh, sorry. I was getting rid of it. We'll be right back. All right, we are back in just a couple blinks. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going into the public comments, and it's getting ready to be a doozy.
Address you. The comments I am making this evening are, again, my own professional observations as the City Human Resources Director, and are not intended to represent the official position of the mayor, the City Council, or any other city official, department, or employee. The term public servant is one we use often, but I think it's worth taking a moment to reflect on what it truly means and what it does not mean. Every day, city employees come to work with one purpose: to serve the residents of Muncie. Whether they're answering phones, repairing streets, maintaining our parks, responding to emergencies, or providing countless other services, they are committed to serving this community with professionalism, courtesy, and respect. Public service is exactly that, service. But serving the public should never require accepting personal abuse. Recently, I witnessed an interaction between a city employee and a member of the public. The employee remained calm, respectful, and genuinely tried to help. Unfortunately, before they were ever given the opportunity to respond, they were met with profanity, personal insults, to include that of insults of her family members, accusations that had nothing to do with the issue they were trying to resolve. That interaction reminded me of something important, and it's been mentioned here tonight. Holding the government accountable, it's not only appropriate, it is essential. However, we welcome the questions, we welcome the concerns, we welcome constructive feedback, just as everyone in this room does. But there is a difference between disagreeing with government and personally attacking the people who are simply doing their jobs. Our employees are our neighbors, they coach our sports, they volunteer in our community, they attend local churches, and most importantly, they raise their families in this community. They deserve to be treated with the same dignity and respect they strive to show every member of the public. So before I conclude, I do want to do a brief reminder to fulfill my responsibilities under that code of ethics that I mentioned earlier. I know I only have 3 minutes.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
You've gone over your 3.
Am I over? Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank God. I mean, I will say at least they shut her up. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. Mr. Rita Falk. Oh, Mr. Ricky Answer. Did he leave?
Even after the restroom.
Okay. Can we, Miss Rita Faulkner, please? She left. Okay. Miss Karen Brubaker.
As you said, I'm Karen Brubaker. Didn't know if I would have anything to say up here
Hi,
this evening
Karen.
or not. I will say I'm disappointed because I feel like you voting down, unless I misunderstood something, the department heads 1426. With just the people that came up here and are here tonight and talked and agreed with the people that were talking, I feel like you're not listening to your constituents and you're not representing us. And it's always my understanding that that's what you're here for. So I'm going to say that. And then I'm going to say off the subject totally, but I've been here enough to hear a lot about the industry neighborhood and their lack of a community center for 20 years now. And I think you need to do the right thing and get them a community center in their neighborhood.
Yeah, Karen killed her. I loved it. By the way, when we were keeping score of the for and against on 1426, 5, 10, 11, 13 people spoke for and 1 person spoke against. Really, 12 people spoke for, 1 person spoke against, and Jeff Robinson was neither for nor against, but everything that he said was for. He said he wasn't for or against. So I will give him his one no man's land. But so 12, 1, and 1, FYI. And they voted it down for sheer stupidity.
Is Mr. Answer back? No?
I passed.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bilbrey? Okay.
I was going to come up and apologize
what did they say?
about
Off the subject.
Is Mr. Answer back?
Let's see.
No?
I passed.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bilbrey? Okay.
I was going to come up and apologize about getting upset earlier. And then I listened to you attempt to tell the council that they can't address us. I listened to your attorney say that this has been a difficult meeting. It's 9:12. It's not been a difficult meeting. We've been here till 2 o'clock in the morning before. That's a difficult meeting. This is not a difficult meeting. You guys are our public servants. We just heard about public servants. And while I might agree or disagree with what you should or shouldn't do to a employee of the city, I don't hold you, the elected people in these seats, in the same position. I don't thank you for letting us speak. I thank our founding fathers. I thank the men and women who died for us to have this right, not you guys. If any of you served your country, thank you.
Yeah, they voted it down. It was not. It was they did the wrong thing.
You for that. But you did not allow me to speak here tonight. Our founding fathers did. You will not ever silence me. Maybe I came in here with a chip on my shoulder, because I feel like you've been disrespecting me since you have set your butt in that seat. And yep, I said butt this time. Okay. Because again, you refuse to communicate through email, and that's disrespectful. You sent one and I praised you for it. That bit me in the ass. I shouldn't have done that, because then when I sent you the next email, we're back to the same old nonsense. Again, you guys don't get respect because you're council folk. You get a baseline level of respect because you're human. Okay. Your level of respect dips because of how you treat us as elected officials. If you want us to speak, if you want easy meetings, just be easy. I am not an idiot. I'm not a mean guy. I'm not a bad guy. You're not in danger. We're all okay. But I will not be bullied by employees. And I will not stand for these people being bullied. I don't care what Terry has to say. Thank God he's not an elected official, I guess. But as long as you work for the people out here, you will behave a certain way. And if you don't, you will get your butt you'll get your ass slapped. Understand?
I didn't know what I was going to say there.
You'll get it chewed on. And you'll get it every time. Now, I'm done allowing fools to make me angry. Okay? I'm going to try to be more respectful. From this point forward, I challenge you to do the same. You failed on the email challenge. I'm still going to email you, and I still expect you to email me back. But if you want respect, give it.
Mr. Wainscave.
And I looked that up. Robert's Rule of Order said 2/3 votes to call a question for a question to pass. So in 2020,
disarming.
I gave all city council members a copy of that Hope 6 grant. I believe 5 of you are sitting up here now were part of that council. And I tried to explain to you guys what it was. I'm talking about the community center. Nobody, I gave you to the next meeting to ask me questions. Next meeting came, nobody had any questions to ask. So I'm going to explain what's some of the stuff that was in that Hope 6 grant for our community center. And the wording is taken directly out of that grant. These are all the things that were supposed to be included. Price Hall, to effectively deliver community and supportive services to Millennium residents. The community center. The South Madison Community Center serves the children and young adults of Muncie homes in the surrounding industry neighborhood. Notice it said industry neighborhood. A new 15,000 square foot building is proposed with classrooms, a computer learning center, meeting and recreation facilities, plus office space for community and supportive services. A child care center designed to accommodate 80 preschool age children. A grocery store, a 40,000 square foot urban grocery store to serve the Muncie Central Business District, East Central, Old West End, Industry, South Central Whiteley, and McKinley neighborhoods. That's everything that was supposed to be included. All we're talking about is a community center. That was a $12.3 million project that we were supposed to get. Now we've been reduced from all of that stuff to just a community center. And on top of that, a raggedy building. And then in fiscal year 2008, Congressman Pence earmarked $343,000 for a new community center. 393? Okay. And that money was spent during the Tyler's administration. We still didn't get it. So the last thing I want to say, I want to read this, hope it doesn't pass my time. This is also in the Hope 6 grant. The new Childhood Development Center and the South Madison Street Community Center will be located on a single site separated by a partially enclosed public plaza containing a small food court designed to serve the entire community. The public plaza will generate income from leases which will supplement the operations of the new South Madison Community Center. So when people are asking, how are you going to pay for it? It was all in the Hope 6 grant, how that was going to be paid for. So, and we just did away with this. So we need our center. Thank you.
Mr. Rodney Vaughn. I'm sorry if I misspelled your last name. Could you correct me with your last name, please, sir? Vaughn, thank you.
You know, my thing is this. The mayor is not even here. The mayor is not even here. He heard his little stuff. He ran. This all involves him because of what he did. And that's not right. That's not right. We had to sit through all the other stuff. So why couldn't he sit through and listen to what we had to say? I have a problem with that. We pay for him. He doesn't pay for us. We voted him. You know, I didn't, but y'all probably did. But that's not right. Okay, first of all, I grew up in Whiteley. I had the Bewley Center, which is no more Bewley Center. It's the Boys and Girls Club. They took it over only because
I got in
our
trouble
mayor,
when I said that last
the
time.
city's mayor, sold it to the Boys and Girls Club. That's one more community center gone. We grew up, I had
That's right.
Carl at the multi. Grew up under him. Great person. They took that. They're taking all of our stuff. To me, I'm not trying to be racist, but it seems like it's in the minority neighborhoods where they're taking away from our kids. Our kids have nowhere to go. Then you wonder why they're getting in trouble. Then you wonder why they're running around here holding guns. Why they're doing drugs. Why they're into the same situations they're in. We can't fault us because we're doing our job as a parent, but we can't do it by ourselves. We need a community. It takes a village to raise kids. Where's the village? When you take away everything that they have and need it, what else are they to do? But go to the streets. And I think it's wrong for the mayor not to be here to listen to us telling him how wrong he was. He made a deal for a community center that's not even in the industrial neighborhood. That's not benefiting us. How our kids going to get there? Because if they walk over there, it's going to be night when they come back. That's dangerous. The buses will be stopped running by then. So how are they going to get there? That's why we had the multi in a central location for all the people. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Funk. Miss Daisy Dale.
I just want to say that so I'm trying to get some information about the Civilian Review Board because I know that disbanded a few years ago. So just if there's any information anybody has, just like feel free to reach out to me, let me know. I was curious with the community center because the memorandum for it said 1910 South Mock Avenue, and in the recent announcement this last week, it was 1912. So I was just curious if
I think it's
anyone knew the reason
1912.
for
I
it or
think that
not.
was just a misspeak. Go figure, like everything else.
They just approached me afterwards if you know. Also, if the renovations would make it ADA compliant or not, I was curious about that too. There's a very tall, set of stairs that go to and everything. Yeah, and also like my last email. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Chip Taylor. Dr. Chip Taylor, I apologize.
That's okay. My wife's the only one I may call me doctor.
Also, if the renovation.
All right, I know it's been a long meeting.
Go to and everything. Yeah, and also my last email.
Who corrected her?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Chip Taylor. Dr. Chip Taylor, I apologize.
That's okay. My wife's the only one I may call me doctor.
That's an role play, right?
I ain't saying. All right, I know it's been a long meeting. I'll keep this brief. I want to say one thing about I was glad to hear on the rescheduled public hearing for resolution 826 that the administration is committed to giving full accounting to the questions from council. My council member Nora Powell is the only one I know. I know she's asked some pretty detailed questions, and what I'd heard so far, not gotten much response back. So I'm glad. We've seen the administration will show up and answer lots of questions when they want something because it's important. Fire station is important, so they came and they answered your questions.
Sometimes they don't even do it when they want something.
Audit reports are important too, and so I hope Councilwoman Powell has everybody's support in getting those answers. The main thing I wanted to say was, so Cheyenne Reed made some nice comments about the importance of civic engagement, people wanting to get involved. The gentleman's on the planning commission. He talked about some stuff. I want to say that the ordinance, tonight, voted down aside, there are lots of other things that can be done to improve citizen engagement on some of these boards and commissions. And so, but first thing I tell people, not to wait to be invited. If you think you've got some, experience and expertise to bring to bear on some of these boards and commissions, then don't wait to be invited. Like Jeff Robinson said, go to Schaefer Leadership Academy, put your name in on GoServe. I don't know if that'll help, but I know it won't hurt anything. But I would also encourage you to email the mayor and your council members and let them know. And
that's right, Numblefoot.
Also recognize too, once you do that,
you're
you're getting involved in small p politics. So people may have opinions about whether you should serve or not, and that's just got to be okay. But the council can do more, right? I mean, I've seen y'all before when you've had two people for one seat, and they were good, both good appointees. I've heard you say, boy, this is tough. That's a good situation to be in. You should want more appointees. I'll tell you something you can do. Rather than showing up in January and have it look like a real goat rodeo because you're not sure what's got to be appointed or this and that, you actually could back up to about October. And I'm pretty sure the clerk's office would put together a list for all the appointments you've got coming up in January. Now, I know there's some other boards, they're cut off cycle, they come later in the year, but I think there's a point toward the end of one year where all the appointments and reappointments going to come up the next year, and you could publicize that. People would know. There's nothing stopping you from doing that.
Yes.
The board and commission websites. So the guy from that's on the planning commission, he mentioned how hard it was even to, try and get engaged once he decided he wanted to. Well, one of the problems is most of the pages you go to, they don't list who the members are. They don't list where their terms are.
Yes.
That's required by law. You can't find anything else. I know I'm about out of time, so I'll stop. the boards and commissions need to clean up their websites and make sure the information they need by law is there. Thank you.
Absolutely. I agree with him. I agree 100%. I like this lady.
2.5 minutes. Good evening. My name is Cassandra Woods, and I'm here representing the children of the industry neighborhood, the neighborhood I was born and raised. I'm now 43 years old, proudly advocating for my community. In 2002, the city of Muncie received a Hope 6 grant that designated the industry neighborhood as the most distressed neighborhood in the city. That grant set aside $393,000 specifically to build a new community center there because our children needed a safe place they could actually reach. That promise now 24 years old and still unfulfilled. Keep that in your mind. Last week, I attended the advisory committee meeting to present these facts. I was cut off after 3 minutes and told the room follows the same rule as city council, even though this is a small advisory meeting or advisory committee with no such requirement. The next morning, I saw Mayor Ridenhour say in a video that a vote had been taken to place the new center at the Mock Street Church. I was in that room. There was no vote, there was discussion, and nothing more. Here's why the location matters so much. Mock Street Church sits outside the industry neighborhood. Census data confirms that industry is 63.7% Black children, compared to roughly 9.6% citywide. This is not a minor statistic. It means the neighborhood the Hope 6 grant was built to serve is overwhelmingly the same community that will be cut off from the resource it was promised, simply by moving the location outside of its boundaries. For our children without transportation, the walk to Mock Street Church is approximately 2.1 miles. That is not a walk you send a child on alone. The entire purpose of the Hope 6 grant was to serve the neighborhood identified as the most in need. A center built outside that neighborhood does not fulfill that promise. It breaks it, actually.
That's right.
And it breaks it specifically for the children the grant named. This isn't about convenience. It's about safety, access, and keeping a commitment this city has made to families who have waited over 2 decades to see it honored. I'm asking this council to look at the original grant documentation, confirm that no vote was legally taken on this location, and ensure that any final decision keeps this center where it was always meant to be, in the industry neighborhood, where for the children it was built for, and they can actually get to it. Thank you for your time.
I'm a Muncie citizen. First, I want to say that we need transparency coming from the top. The mayor is the top. Why would he go and give his State of the Union, or whatever he called it, and say that it was passed about this community center?
So weird.
Now, I know we have a loss of finance in Muncie, but this doesn't have anything to do with that center. That money was appropriated years ago. But
Yep.
people seem to forget this.
Like Shirley
We have
said, I'd like to
neighborhoods.
know where it's at.
We
What it went
have
to.
boundaries. We have maps. I want you to tell me, would the west side of Muncie allow their neighborhood center be placed out of their community in the neighborhood like they did us, or trying to?
Absolutely.
Trying to. We have been talking about this center for years, but nobody seems to say the right thing about it. Or else, either you wasn't born here, you don't know about it, or you think you have the power to keep it from being built. This is nothing new. We come here I've been coming to these meetings for years. The people out here speak and talk the truth, and you sit up there and vote it down. Amen. Every time. You don't have to be an Einstein to know the truth and to follow the truth. The same people that band together, no, 4 of you, 5 of you, always band together.
Yep.
After these people spend all this time speaking what they want, not what you all want because of political affiliation. Something needs to be done. Is not this city of Muncie is corrupt. You all know it. You all part of it. You need to do something about it.
Damn.
Mr. Audie Barber.
I love it.
Miss Thornburg, you stole my thunder. Shame on you. Okay, start my timer. Little Chicago. Let that sink in a minute, but not on my time. Little Chicago. That's the reason we're called that. I just hope the Ball State paperwork that you guys received is as better than the community center. It's another piece of paperwork. If you won't return emails, you won't address us here when we're asking you questions, when the heck are you going to answer us? What gives you the right to do that? These folks want to speak. They're elected by us, not by you. not by you. And if they want to speak, they have the right to speak. Walgreens may be a nice little building. It might be right outside of their area. But
I don't know
Walgreens
what
on
he was
12th
saying.
Madison
That's
would
crazy.
probably be a better
He was off his
selection
rocker on
than
that
the
one.
church.
So
Why are you shaking your head no and talking to somebody else? You're supposed to be listening to me.
who's talking to?
She knows who I'm talking to. How can we trust the council?
Roe got
like
yelled
this
by,
lady
by
said?
both of us.
How can we trust the council to help us when you had 7, 8, 10, 12 people up here wanting you to support Mr. Mason's action, Mr. Mason's introduction? You guys wouldn't even support it. How can we trust you to do that when you won't even support the people that's here talking about it? Some of you folks, and I'm not saying that it's a good thing or a bad thing, are only up there by 3 or 4 votes. You think these 7 or 8 or 10 or 12 people could change the tunes of an election? 3 votes. Think about it. 3 votes. And 5 of you guys told these people you didn't care what they thought about this. Just told them straight out, we don't care. We're going to vote for the mayor. Bullshit. Arrest me. Very disappointed in this council. I'm telling you what.
And did you hear? Did
I used to
Green
have a pretty bad
even
attitude
tell
when I
him
came
to
up
watch
here.
his language?
Very bad.
No.
I mellowed out for a while. Did I not, Miss Powell? Oh, you can't answer that. You're not allowed to. You know, the city have paid several
Audie was
lawsuits
like
off
on one.
for stupid stuff like this. There's been other towns that's had to pay lawsuits off for stupid stuff like this. So you guys need to think about that. And if you're an attorney, great guy, like Mr. Murphy. But if he's too lazy to sit there for 2 or 3 hours, maybe he needs to resign too. Turn your paperwork in, folks. Turn your paperwork in. If Monday night, once a month, is too busy for you, then turn your paperwork in, resign your post, because most of you will not be elected again. Thank you.
Woo! Holy
Mr.
shit.
Taylor.
Now here comes Junior.
Harry Moore. I'm a city, born and raised in the city of Muncie. I am a taxpayer. I actually pay property taxes, and I pay mine on time. Several things. We have a school board member here. When I was a kid, we had recreation in schools. Why can't the schools have recreation like we did back in the 60s? I think that would be a good thing. It's a shame that the people that want you guys to respect them don't seem to want to respect you guys. You guys are city employees too, just like the lady talked about, the HR lady talked about the person that was being berated, but they stayed calm. You guys shouldn't have to be berated like that from somebody that just doesn't like you because of who he is, gives him fodder. That's what he wants, is fodder. Good for you for not answering his emails. So that's all I have to say.
They ran their mouth about private people from the public.
I didn't say your name. No, I didn't. I didn't say. You said this conversation.
Point of order. Point of order. Miss Janetta Presley.
Yeah.
Order.
I'm Janetta
Okay. Okay.
Presley, and I live here in Muncie. I'm a peer recovery coach. I'm here because we have lost a member of our homeless community. Brian Bernard passed away. So he was one of my guys that lived in my house. He's around my neck. So we are failing our people very badly, especially our homeless and mentally handicapped. He qualified for mental health care. And so we were working on that with medication, but he did not qualify for regular health care. And the medication they were giving him for the mental health took away all of his potassium and magnesium in his body and gave him a heart attack and killed him.
That's wild sounding. What she's
Because he
saying
didn't qualify for medical care and only mental health. So we lost him. He was on life support.
His medicine
He
that
did
he's
really
taking
well.
for
He
mental health
graduated
took away his
and he was offered
potassium?
in-house arrest. He got married. He'd been married for 2 years. And he did really great in our program on our at the house. And he had a job. He was doing well. And he was very young for this to happen to him. So we need to do something about this. Because now it's very close to me. I've lost one of my guys that I have taken a lot of care of. So yes. And as you know, I'm still on hospice. I'm still not working. I have resigned from the church as the meal. I'm not doing the meal anymore. But something needs to be done, and I can't do it anymore. But I just want you to know that we need to do something for mental health and regular health, because he qualified for mental health care, but he did not.
Okay. So she goes on talking about needing to do something with mental health. And I agree. Something needs to happen. I would, not making light, but I would probably start with our elected officials. Okay. moving on. That's the end of the council meeting. Yeah, folks, I don't know what to say. It's embarrassing. It's ridiculous. It's the same shit. I could record one of these. I could record me talking about the actions at a city council meeting, and I could play it every month, and it could be the same thing over and over. It's nonsense. What they do is nonsense. They're actually getting worse. The shit's getting worse. I don't know what to do. I mean, I'll be honest. Monday night, coming out of the council meeting, was probably one of them. I was so angry and hopeless, and I just thought none of this shit matters. I honestly think I'm gonna do something different. I really want to address the shit from this meeting. I really want to address some things that I think occurred with this council. But I honestly thought that maybe I'm going to. Yeah, I saw that. That's hilarious. Maybe a crisis center. Maybe we could put the elected officials in the crisis center and then get real people in, and maybe we wouldn't be in such a crisis. No, I'll be honest. I actually thought that starting in September that I might just go up there, whatever the first ordinance is. Let's see. New ordinances. Oh no, we didn't have any. Okay, so whatever we won't have ordinances previously introduced because we didn't have any. So whatever the first order of business is, I thought I'd probably go up there and just say, I hope you guys vote on this. If the mayor wants it voted on, I was going to go up there and say, I think the mayor's got a great plan. I like the mayor. I want you guys to do this. I hope you do this. I hope you let Jerry vote yes twice. I hope you let Brandon vote yes 3 or 4 times. I hope that Roe allows herself to be played like a fiddle and an idiot by this administration, the same administration that ran rumors about her when she was running for election, the same administration that, and listen to me, the mayor's secretary was openly telling people that she was having an affair with Jeff Robinson when she was running. And you want me to believe that if Dan would have wanted to tell Shireen to cut the shit and to knock it off, that he couldn't have done that? And so Roe lets herself be played by that man and what he wants and the people that he's around and the shit that they want. That's crazy. But what little memory that people have, I guess. So I think for a little bit, I'm going to agree with everything they want. I'm going to go up there and flip it around and say really crazy things and be like, I think that you guys need to, I love what you guys are doing. Mr. Basham's the smartest person ever. And I think I'm going to maybe try to approach it that way. All right. I want to thank you guys